bigger than you. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than all of us.
Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy. The dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
We'll bring the jury.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their court.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case. Hindi Anglican, he's very sloppy.
Is that correct?
Literally not true. I didn't ask you to interrupt me. Oh, for Trump's sake.
Welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. I hope you had a fabulous lunch. I topped mine off with the dessert of a slice of fresh baked bread. It's delicious. Yeah, it's not dessert, but it was that good. It was that good. Alrighty. Welcome back. Happening right now on lunch. I'm going to play it for you here as we wait for court to begin. Let's see, they're coming back right now, right? In theory. Yeah, tell you what. Let's jump straight to a couple things. First of all, Kim R, congratulations, you're first in chat. The internet is all yours. Everything IP related worldwide is your responsibility, but you have done this before, as you are in fact a habitual offender when it comes to this. So yeah, good luck and good riddance, Kim R. It's all yours. Let's see, a couple other things. I think there were a couple messages I missed. Well, 2 of them. Kelly H. gifted a membership to Kelly. Thank you very much for your generosity, kicking off the stream. And Francis Fitzgerald, member for 14 months. 14 months of hitting like, and I've loved every minute of it. Hit like, everyone, says Francis Fitzgerald. Thank you, Francis. That is super kind of you. I do appreciate the likes. I mean, we already are up to almost 150 of them. And we just barely started. Now we are at 150. That was great. Thank you. All right, let's do this. Let's really quickly. Let me see if I can play for you the terrible audio of what just happened in the Donna Adelson trial, which is
a vastly different circumstance.
Right.
Our client
here
certainly has information, knows information about her daughter that Ms. McBanno would not have ever been able to know. And so
it starts in the middle.
It's our position that it's premature.
The audio is so bad.
The Fifth Amendment question, the courts have ruled, should be done on a question-by-question basis.
Okay. So pause for a second. First of all, apparently this hearing had a closed portion, an open portion, then it goes back to a closed portion. So we jump right in the middle of a discussion when they're like, all right, this is the open portion, by the way. Camera's turned on. So we get this. They're trying to quash a subpoena, I believe, for Wendy.
So your expectation is for me to ask the question. She will make some sort of signal. I'm invoking the juries to be removed, and then we do this for the entire defense direct?
No, Your Honor. What I would suggest is that if we get into this posture, and absolutely cross-examination may be sufficient, but if we get into the posture of needing additional, I would suggest that potentially proffering the questions, and then she and her counsel can advise the court if she intends to invoke her privilege at that time.
Laura, last word, and then I will rule.
Yes, Your Honor. The statement by counsel is patently incorrect and false. This issue was raised by Ms. Carras in the McMonaghan trial. She preserved the issue. She made the same arguments that these defense lawyers are making now. It was wholly rejected by Judge Wheeler and wholly rejected by the first DCA, and we respectfully request that Your Honor follow that ruling here. There is simply no question that the defense could ask that is relevant to this matter that Ms. Adelson, my client, would answer. She's invoking her Fifth Amendment.
There you go. She invokes the Fifth.
All right. Having reviewed the applicable authority on this issue, and also reviewed the prior transcripts on this matter that were also ruled on by Judge Wheeler concerning this same subject. I am going to adopt a similar ruling. The defense cannot give the witness immunity as it relates to any matters in which she would testify under and could properly invoke the Fifth Amendment privilege. No witness can be called to the stand simply to invoke the Fifth Amendment, as there would be no basis for this witness to take the stand and give testimony on a relevant matter that also could not affect her ability to also endanger her own Fifth Amendment right. I am going to grant the relief that is requested. If we need to revisit this issue for any purpose where the defense believes there is a line of questioning that will not go to the Fifth Amendment privilege of the witness, we will at the appropriate time, but I do believe it is the proper ruling at this point to quash the subpoena.
Quash the subpoena.
Mr. Laurel, I believe that concludes your motion for today. Again, when it's time for your client to testify, you may place your statement on the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good day, sir.
To you as well.
All right.
That concludes the public portion of the hearings for this afternoon. We will take a brief break and then resume with the in-camera matters. The courtroom is to be cleared by all non-parties at this point.
There you go. And we're kicked out, just like that. So that's what happened in the Donna Adelson pretrial, the last pretrial hearing. They're set to pick a jury starting tomorrow, and that is where we're going to go. This was a motion to quash a subpoena. Think squash a bug. Okay, quash a subpoena. It does the same thing. It gets rid of it. It means no, you don't have to show up. You don't have to take the stand. This was because I believe Wendy was going to be asked to testify in this trial. Wendy, to my understanding, has not been charged, or if she has, which I'm not sure, it has not come to trial yet. So if she would testify, what she says could be used against her in her trial. She has a Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination, so she can exercise that right and not provide the ammunition for prosecutors to use against her. And the judge says, done. So as of right now, it sounds like Wendy's subpoena is quashed. She will not be taking the stand. Now, Charlie, on the other hand, we'll see. That's a different story. Anyway, so it's fun. We're going to get to that one. That's going to start probably tomorrow, maybe the day after. That week, just so you know, I mean, right now we're here in court in Georgia. We are jumping to the Donna Adelson trial when it starts, and then I'll probably be doing recaps of this trial at the end of the day, and or I don't know, maybe on the weekend we can catch up. I'll figure out how to do it, but I want to see what happens here. But I also Donna Adelson was our next big trial we were going to, and this one just sort of stumbled upon it. So Wendy's subpoena from the state is not quashed. Only the defense. Defense was asking for the subpoena to be quashed. And her taking the stand for one or the other would do the same thing. Wendy still has to testify for the prosecution? Okay, when somebody takes the stand, you waive your rights. I mean, when you take the stand, you have to answer questions. And you cannot plead the fifth. So you can't take the stand and then say, oh, now I plead the fifth about something. I just don't. Once you plead the fifth, it's over. It's game over. I just don't see how. That was her attorney. Wasn't the attorney the one that asked for the maybe I'm hearing something different. Her attorney asked for Wendy has. Oh, Winter Sky, that changes everything. She has use immunity. Okay, so this is going to be fun for sure now. Defense could not give her immunity. Okay, now it's starting to click in. Okay, that makes more sense. They both subpoenaed her. She has use immunity, so she can testify. It can't be used against her for the state. Defense can't grant immunity. Only the prosecution can. She will plead the fifth. That's wild. Okay. This is going to be another back-to-back just crazy case. All right. How could there be obstructions for Starlink when the sun is shining bright? Is it raining? Or is there any water on your leaves, trees, birds? It's a messy case. It's very messy. The defense can only cross her on what the prosecution asks her. It hamstrings the defense that they can only cross in scope. It's going to be wild then. It's going to be spicy is what it's going to be. I had to go back and listen to Josh again. I know he was talking with that with Surviving the Survivor. That makes a lot more sense. And Peter Tragos did them as well. I need to get up to speed on that then. I can't wait. Okay, that'll be fun. All right. Meanwhile, here we are just a couple minutes away from starting the trial back in Georgia as we continue part 2 of day 3 in this trial. Martha says, so let me get this straight. Wendy has immunity for the state, but doesn't the defense get to cross her? They do, but she only has immunity for what the state asks her, and defense can only ask in scope, meaning if the state asked about it, then defense can ask about it. I don't know. That has got to be something that would be challenged. Like appeal type thing. How do you limit the cross-examination of a witness to the questions you want her to be able to be asked? That just does not sound right. It does seem, it's super unfair. Crazy. Jennifer Cockfield, member for 15 months. Hey, everyone. Jennifer, welcome. Good to have you here. I love that pooch. Is that a Belgian or is that a German Shepherd? I cannot tell from the picture. And what Josh said included, she doesn't want this. She wants no part of this, but she's basically being forced to testify. That's usually what immunity deals are often used for, forcing someone to testify so they can't plead the fifth. We saw a little bit of that in the YSL trial. I think they did this in Charlie's trial too. It's not transactional immunity, which could mean she could never be prosecuted. So her use deal only applies to being called as a witness for the state. Doesn't apply if witness for defense. So defense is limited on the questions they ask her to the scope of the questions the state asks because she has a deal. The defense can, if they want, call her or could have up until today, call her to take the stand and ask her whatever question they wanted. But in that case, she could have pled the fifth. You can't call someone just to plead the fifth. Wendy's lawyer says there's no question she'll be asked that she won't plead the fifth to. So the defense, okay, that makes sense. So now the judge quashes a subpoena for the defense because she will plead the fifth if the defense asks her any questions. Okay, I'm caught up. I was a little slow, but I'm here now. How can defense even ask her questions in a safe manner? They better. She can't plead the fifth, not under the state, because she has immunity. But defense, wow, that's next level. That's next level chess work using witnesses. Yes, that is a loss for Donna for sure. She can't plead the fifth. She would plead the fifth if defense called her and asked her questions, because she does not have a deal in that situation. Then she could plead the fifth, and the judge, and with her lawyer telling the judge she will if defense asks her anything, if defense calls her and she asks anything. it's going to be a spicy one. This is going to be a fun trial. All right. My kids love the new ripstick wheels. They are super fast, and they've been showing me during lunch. They're really good at it. I should probably film them because it basically looks like a death trap is what these little skateboards look like. Little ripsticks or caster boards, whatever they call them. We're talking about Wendy? Yes, we were, Virginia. Yeah, defense can't give a deal because only prosecutors decide if they prosecute or not. They're in the position of power there. Donna was going to throw her under the bus. That's why they wanted to be able to ask her questions. This family is so inspiring, the way they roll over on the others and toss each other under the bus. We've got back-to-back inspiring families in court. Georgia and Florida. Not even the clock in court is right. I'm showing it as... Yeah, they're a couple minutes fast. Well, I'd rather have it be fast than slow. Adelsons are just a higher class version of the Pattons. Both are despicable, says Walker. They definitely haven't won over much of the audience. What's this trial been like? Oh, my goodness. This one that we're on right now in Georgia is nuts. The last witness on the stands testified that she did, in fact, help her husband plan a number of murders and carry them out in her house with her daughter present, with grandpa asleep on the couch or passed out on the couch, and she helped dump the bodies. It's just, and she was just matter-of-factly presenting it. There are YouTube issues all over. It's probably something to do with the internet. Kim is on it. Trust me, she's on it. This is a must-have screaming goat trial. If you don't have a screaming goat, this is a Christmas goat, which is my personal favorite right now. But there is another screaming goat, just the standard goat. This one is a little sadder. Yeah, that sounded more like it sounded different. The battery's dead. I still have not replaced the battery in this one. But if you don't have a screaming goat, there is a link we can send you that will send you to the YouTubes or to the Amazon webs where you can buy one. And if you purchase one after clicking on that link, then I have chat and no RA. What? Kim, please fix Starlink. Okay, thanks, Amber. I was sort of queuing that one. There's the link. You can get your own screaming goat. I think they're under $10 shipped if you have Prime. I believe that's a pretty good deal. And it sure does help watching some of these trials, as you can push the button a lot. I have chat, but RA is spinning. Solar flares and geomagnetic storms. Are we having those right now? Because what that means is there are going to be great northern lights. People outside the United States are having trouble with YouTube. Oh, Debbie, that's brave, bringing it to work. I have a yodeling pickle and a screaming. I think this is the screaming pickle. Yeah, it's loud. The screaming pickle is quite loud. It's also an option if you need one. Need a goat for family meetings. I'll tell you, for work, they need to make a goat that says, this could have been an email. This could have been an email. This whole meeting could have been an email. Are we going to do slots again? People have been doing them for a while, I think. They're turned on right now. We typically do it before court starts. East Coast, North Carolina is under evacuation orders. Pam, don't say that. Don't say that. Hang on. What did Aaron do now? Shout out to Metronet. We're good, says Caitlin Newell. Awesome. Large portion of the Atlantic coastline will see a risk for high surf and rip currents increase this week due to Ayden. This is from the National Weather Service. Risk of rip currents is high. Life-threatening rip currents are likely. Swimming conditions are unsafe for all levels of swimmers. Stay out of the water. Always follow advice from local beach patrol and flag warning systems. Basically, the whole East Coast, all the way up to practically Maine, is red for red flag danger. And Aaron's gone back to a Category 4. So, yay. That's all good. Great news. Thanks, y'all. I am trying to get to the beach at some time and to do some metal detecting. Because it's the best time of the year to do that. Let's see. I would read chat, but my whole screen is full up with people gambling. Bunch of degenerates. What did I miss while I was working? You missed a little bit. I think we're about to start right now in trial. We're actually due a few minutes ago. You missed a little bit of testimony from the mom of the murder victim, who happens to also be the wife of a serial killer. And she was testifying about how she helped her husband plan, carry out, and clean up after a few murders. Just a few. So you missed a little bit. That's worth going back and watching, I think. It's really good. My boss loves the goat and has used it a couple of times himself. Herself or himself, one of the two. I just inserted that in your comment. You posted the whole thing. Awesome. Thank you very much, Tony, on Twitter. Let's see. It was 2 murders she helped with, allegedly. That's the only 2 she witnessed, she said. All right. Playing peekaboo with the bailiff. He's winning. I think what we need to do is every time we start a new trial, reset the points system. I've been giving it some thought. So the points would be reset completely. And then for the first, I don't know, maybe we'll just turn slots off next time when we reset the points. Paula Mack says, I gave my boss the goat for Christmas last year. Now the other supervisor wants one. I sent you your Christmas goat. Yes, Paula Mack, this is the one I love. Thank you for that one. It is super loud. I like the snow. It's really good. Sherry Smith, one of our OGs, longer than 23 months. Enjoyed being gray for almost 4 months. Love being here, Sherry. Love it, love it, love it. One of our OG original goats here on the channel. Love it. Thanks for your support. All right, we are waiting for some audio as we're waiting for the jury to come in. The defendant is there on the far side in the suit and tie, in a wheelchair. We believe he was in a climbing accident a couple of years after his wife's death, and his condition has deteriorated to the point where he's in a wheelchair. Something's funny. Was that Miss Hilton that was laughing? I didn't hear. Why do we have sirens up? It shouldn't be sirens. It should
Thank you all. Please be seated. Deputy, please wait for just a minute.
There we go. Anything goes, Kelly.
Victor. Thank you.
Tower Hill Girl, we just missed it. We just listened to it. Defense subpoena for Wendy was quashed. Allison M., member for 23 months. Thank you. The pickle is so loud. It is. It is so loud. Thank you for your support.
Come on up, sir, to the witness stand.
New witness coming to the
And
stand.
when you get to the witness stand, if you will turn and face the deputy before you have a seat, raise your right hand. She'll swear you in. Okay, sir?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that testimony you shall give this court today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you? You may be seated. Once seated, please take and swear your full name for the record.
Just pull up to the microphone, get close situated. Just be cautious of those wheels on that ledge there.
Okay. My name is Thomas Michael Dixon.
And you can move the microphone towards you if it is helpful. And could you spell your name, please, sir?
Thomas, Thomas, Dixon, Dixon.
Please move the microphone.
Mr. Dixon, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Tell the court, were you in the Atlanta area in 1998?
Yes.
All right. At that point, how long had you been living in the Atlanta area?
I've been in the Atlanta area since '93. This is when I first arrived here in Georgia.
All right. Now, during that period...
Forgive me. I definitely am going to need you to pull that microphone towards you. Okay. Make sure my court reporter and I can hear you clearly. Thank you, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Fawcett.
All right. During that period, were you employed?
Yes.
And what were you doing for a living?
Waffle House.
And what did you do while you were working at Waffle House?
I cooked.
All right.
Made waffles.
And that would have been in that period of 1998?
Yes.
Specifically, what locations, Waffle House locations, did you work at?
Many locations. When I first got there in '93, I started out on Buford Highway in Doraville. And then I transferred from there. It was, I can't say the exact year, 97. It was after the Olympics.
Okay.
And I transferred over to Peachtree Corners.
And do you remember what time of year you would have been at Peachtree Corners?
Yeah, it was in 1998.
Okay, would that have been at the beginning, the middle, or the end of 1998?
About the middle.
All right. You familiar with the name Melissa Wolfenbarger?
Yes, sir.
How do you know that name?
She was my waitress.
All right. And when you say waitress, describe what your role at Waffle House and what her role would have been.
I was like the shift supervisor, cook, management. At that time, earlier in my career, I was just mostly a cook and just a shift supervisor.
Okay. And what types of, when you say you were a supervisor, what types of responsibilities would a supervisor have in relationship to, say, a waitress, as Melissa Wolfenbarger would have been employed in?
It's a team effort. When we work together, we help each other out, support each other on the floor, take care of customers.
Do you recall what locations, Waffle House locations, you would have worked at with Melissa Wolfenbarger?
Yes.
And what locations were those?
I started working with her in Doraville on the Buford Highway location, and then I seen her again over when I transferred to. I can't think of the unit number. It's Peachtree Corners, though. The one I transferred to Peachtree Corners. She was over there.
Okay. How would you describe your relationship with Melissa Wolfenbarger?
She was my friend. She was one of my really close friends. The girls that I work with it's kind of like a family thing at Waffle House. You know, we establish a close relationship when we work with each other.
Did you talk about your families, your children with Melissa Wolfenbarger? Did you discuss that?
No.
Did Melissa Wolfenbarger discuss her personal circumstances with you?
She usually did it to another waitress. She usually talked to another waitress that was one of our friends. Her name was Elizabeth. And her name was Elizabeth. Uh-huh. And Elizabeth would come back and tell me, back at that time I was...
Sustained.
Well, I didn't get that he was going to repeat an out-of-court statement. Now, Mr. Dixon, we want to try to avoid repeating anything that someone else said out of court.
Okay.
But I do want to keep you on that period at Waffle House in '98. When you started working with Melissa at, I believe you said it was the Doraville location?
Yes.
Around what time of year would that have been?
About the middle of the year, I'd say.
And then do you recall around what time of year you would have started working with Melissa at the Peachtree Corners location?
Later that year.
And at any point, can you tell the jury if the nature of your relationship with Melissa Wolfenbarger changed at any point?
We just became closer.
All right. At any point, did you become intimate with Melissa Wolfenbarger?
Yes.
Can you tell us around when in the relationship during the year did that occur?
In the year, probably around toward the later fall.
As part of the onboarding process? I'm confused.
When you say intimate, did Melissa ever spend any time at any location that you may have been staying at during that period?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Yes, she, when I first met her, it was her birthday, and I took her out for her birthday dinner across the street from where we worked at in Doraville to a Chinese restaurant. And we had too much to drink, and we went and got a hotel room behind the Waffle House that night. And I was respectful. None of us, we didn't have any intercourse or no sexual relations that night. She went home the next morning because she said she had to get back to her kids. And we continued to work. You know, she came in, I went home, she went home, and we came back to work at 2:30 in the afternoon. We worked the afternoon shift.
All right.
Then I headed back to the hotel. I'm confused.
At any point, did you come to learn that Melissa was married?
Yes.
How did you learn that?
I believe it was just her sharing with Elizabeth and talking to me.
Okay. Did she actually discuss, did she actually tell you that she was married?
No.
Melissa never told you that she was married?
Not that she was married, but I knew she had a boyfriend.
Did you ever meet that person that you describe as being Melissa's boyfriend?
One time.
All right. Do you recall that instance when you met him?
Yes.
What do you recall about that date?
It was in the evening, and we was both about ready to get off work, and Chris showed up at the job, and he came inside the restaurant, and I was on the grill cooking, and Melissa was over there sitting down talking to him at the booth, and then she got up and ran to the back room, was crying, and I went to the back room and asked her what's wrong, and she was just, I couldn't really understand what she was, because she was crying, hysterical. And she said something about it was him, you know, he's messing with her. So he was on his way out, and I followed him out, and I told him, I said, leave her alone until 9 o'clock. I said, after 9 o'clock, then you can have her, but until then, she's mine.
Okay. How close to you?
What?
How close were you to the person you described as being Melissa's boyfriend? How close were you to him at the time you said that?
We was in front of each other, maybe a couple feet apart.
They're both outside?
Yes.
And was there any response at that time?
No.
What happened after that?
Just turned around and went and got in his car, and I went back inside, and we went back to work.
At any point, did you see that individual leave the restaurant?
Who? Chris?
Yes.
He was leaving when I followed him out.
Okay. Yeah. Did you see him leave in the vehicle?
Yeah, with her that night when they left.
How would you describe the manner in which he drove off?
Very irate.
What do you mean by that?
Tires were squealing and peeling up and down the road.
Did it appear to you at the time that he was upset?
Yeah.
Now, at that point, had you and Melissa become intimate?
Yes.
All right. And when did that occur?
I don't know exactly when. It was, she stayed with me for about 4 or 5 days during that week because, let's see, I had came to work one day, and we always go back and smoke cigarettes, and we would be drinking beer or something while we're at work, and we would talk, and she would tell me about abusive relationship she was in.
Okay. If I can get you to speak up so I can make sure I'm hearing everything that you're saying, could you repeat that?
Yeah, she would talk to me about her abusive relationship with Chris.
Okay. And you say abusive, but when you describe it as abusive, what exactly did she say to give you the impression she was describing abuse?
I mean, she wouldn't really exactly describe the details, but I could see it. It was visible on her body.
And what do you mean by that?
The marks, the scratches, the bruises.
Okay. You saw signs of what appeared to be abuse.
Yeah.
And where on her body would you see that?
On her arms. I seen one on her cheekbone.
And besides the individual that you're referring to, did you know any of Melissa's family, sister? Did you know any family members?
No. Mm-mm.
And when you and Melissa had become intimate, was there any point when you had unprotected sex with Melissa Wolfenbarger?
Yes.
And would that have been towards that end period you've been testifying to in 1998?
Yes.
And how soon after, say, you became intimate, the last point when you were intimate with Melissa Wolfenbarger was the last time you actually saw her?
Maybe a day or two later.
Okay.
Is when we went to work, and that's when Chris came up there to the job, and she said she had to go home. She mentioned something about her kids.
Okay. And at that point, did you have the knowledge that she had children?
I always she talked about her kids. Yeah.
And then how would she, when she would talk about her children, how would she speak about them?
Very briefly. I mean, it wasn't really a topic. She said she had kids and she missed them. She said that a few times while we was together.
Do you remember describing a type of vehicle that you saw the defendant drive off in?
Yeah, it was like a yellow slug bug back in the 90s. Like a Volkswagen.
Volkswagen,
yeah.
Okay. Like a Volkswagen Beetle, is that what you just?
Yes.
The boss at Waffle House got to know the girls that worked there. There was like family. They were really close. And apparently, right after she started working there, he took her out for Chinese dinner and then straight to the hotel. But he was respectful because she was drunk. But shortly thereafter, things developed. That's what I got out of this one. That and don't go to Waffle House. Doesn't Waffle House, I was saying go to Waffle House for your free pancakes? I might have to take them off the list.
Mr. Dixon, do you recall giving a statement to law enforcement, the detectives in this case?
Yeah, back in 2003.
Okay, back in 2003.
Yeah.
All right. Do you recall a time frame that you were able to give the detectives as to the last date, the last month that you saw Melissa Wolfenbarger?
I believe I told them the same thing that I told you, yeah.
You recall, what was that date that you saw Melissa Wolfenbarger, the actual month itself?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. If you were to see a copy of some of your report, would that assist in refreshing your recollection?
Most likely would.
All right.
Waffle House needs like a reality TV show. Unfortunately, they'd have to show it on late night television because it's no way that would go on while the kids are awake.
Starting right here, where it's starting right there.
Just read it to yourself. I'll read it in the microphone.
In December.
No, sorry. He's telling you to just read it to yourself because he wants to know if reading that refreshes your memory about the question he's just asked you. So if you could just read it to yourself, and then he'll ask you a question.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. After having looked at that, do you recall the month that you told law enforcement you saw Melissa Wolfenbarger in 98?
Yes.
And what month was that?
December.
Okay. That's all I have, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. McDermott?
That was on directs. What is Cross going to bring?
Mr. Dixon, you and I have never had the opportunity of speaking together before. Okay.
Mr. Dixon, if you would, that was, I think you were nodding your head. Did you mean yes?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Okay. If you'll just try and give an out loud yes or no.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry.
So you just mentioned that the first time you kind of began to get intimate with Melissa was on her birthday.
That's where we're
Is that correct?
Nice.
Well, no, nothing happened that night.
Okay.
No.
You
But I liked her. We liked each other. You know, we was growing closer.
Didn't you share a room that night?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, nothing ever happened though.
And at the time you lived with a woman named Deborah, is that correct?
Yes.
Did she work there as well?
Yes, I was living with Deborah. Yeah.
And she had an ex-husband that she lived with?
John.
And you rented a room from them?
Yes.
And you were also having an affair with Deborah also, is that correct?
Yes.
And when Deborah found out you were having an affair with Melissa, kind of a trouble happened at Waffle House, right?
Yeah.
She quit the Waffle House.
And did the manager require one of y'all to leave or to come up with some settlement of that?
No.
Okay.
They're like, as long as you work your shift, I don't care.
And you said Melissa stayed with you a few times?
Just, she stayed with me one time. And I wasn't living with Deborah at that time. I was over in Liberty Heights after I moved out of Deborah's house.
Okay. You got a new place of your own? Or
yes.
Were you renting a room there too, or did you have your own place? Okay. But you had a little more freedom?
Yes.
This incident where you say that you met her boyfriend and he picked her up in the car. Apparently he did something to make her cry in the store, right?
Yes.
And then he goes out to the car, and then later that night she gets in the car and leaves with him. And you just, is that correct?
No, he went out, as he was going to the car, that's when I came out behind him.
But later that night she got in that car.
When she was off, yes.
When she got off after 9 o'clock.
Yes.
And you described that car as a yellow Volkswagen.
Yeah.
And are you aware that Christopher never owned a yellow Volkswagen?
No.
And you said he peeled out down the road?
Mm-hmm.
The phrase you used, I think, was he was squalling up and down the road?
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to squall out in a Volkswagen Beetle?
No.
Do you remember telling deputies or telling an investigator that you had sex with Melissa multiple times?
Maybe. I might have.
Did you have sex with Melissa multiple times?
No, maybe 2.
3 times?
2, 3 times.
Okay.
Would that be multiple?
Do you remember asking Melissa if she could get pregnant?
No.
What is squalling? Like squealing the tires? Bless you.
If I showed you a transcript of your interview with Detective Calhoun in 2003, would that maybe refresh your memory?
Probably, yes.
And I apologize for the fine print. Please read this here.
I don't remember asking her.
Don't answer any questions yet.
Okay.
You did ask her if she could get pregnant, and she told you no. Isn't that correct?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't think I did.
You've testified here about Melissa talking about her children, and you said two things that weren't clear to me. On the one hand, you said she didn't really talk about her children, but then you also said, yeah, she mentioned her children a few times and said she missed them,
yeah,
or that she needed to get back to them.
Yeah, we didn't really get into like detail about her kids, you know, because we was always just having fun, just drinking and socializing.
Yeah.
We didn't go in and get into no details.
On the clock.
But did she talk about her children to you?
I've heard her say some stuff about her kids, like she missed them and stuff like that.
Do you remember telling Detective Calhoun that she never talked about her children?
No.
If I showed you a transcript of that interview, may it refresh your memory?
Maybe.
We'll take a chance.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. That's his question. My apologies.
Mm-hmm.
That.
I don't think he's going to remember this either.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. That up there?
What is what?
You ever mentioned any parents?
Hey, forgive me, but don't read it out loud,
No.
please. Thank you.
I mean, I don't.
To be clear, that was his question to you.
Oh.
So when Detective Calhoun asked you if she ever talked about her family or her parents or anybody to you, you told him that she didn't talk about her mom, dad, brothers, sisters, nothing. She never even talked about her kids.
She told me she had kids. I mean, if you want to consider that talking about them, I don't know.
You say that Melissa was close to you and that she disclosed these details, or you didn't say that she disclosed these details. Do you remember talking to these people, Mr. Fawcett and a couple of investigators, maybe a few weeks ago? Do you remember that?
Where at my residence?
In Rome, yes.
That of the Waffle House.
So they came out and interviewed you freshly regarding the details of what happened back then?
Yes.
And do you remember them telling you something about her telling you about instances of abuse?
We didn't go over what was discussed in the 2003 interview.
Apologize, sir, but if you could lean forward, you are really quiet.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
My question is, do you remember telling them at that time about an instance that Melissa told you about abuse?
I mean, she mentioned stuff about being, abused.
So you just testified here this morning that she did not tell you about instances of abuse, but that you only saw marks on her body.
I seen marks on her body, and I heard from her, that he was abusive. I mean, but
you literally just testified a while ago.
Okay.
That she did not tell you about instances of abuse. Isn't that correct?
Okay.
He's waffling.
And when you talk to these, I keep pointing to them, but it was really only Mr. Fawcett that was with the group. And Detective Shepard was with that group, and Detective Kennedy, I believe. When you talked to that group a few weeks ago, do you remember telling them that you have been interested in Melissa's case all across the years?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And did you a couple of times tell them that you had watched videos?
Yes.
Okay. What videos had you watched about Melissa?
Just when the cold case files.
So you've watched media presentations about her case?
Yeah.
And isn't it the case that you took some details from what you heard and told them to the investigators a few weeks ago as if they were things you remembered?
No. This is just what I can remember, what I can't remember.
Is it possible that some of the things you've listened to over 20 years of videos and interest in Melissa has combined with the things that you think you remember about her?
I haven't heard anything.
Is it possible?
No, I haven't heard anything until I found out he was arrested.
So if he was arrested a year ago, you've had at least a year to watch videos?
Yeah.
Did you listen to any podcasts?
No.
Okay. You testified just a few minutes ago that when Melissa decided to leave at one point, she told you she had to go home because she missed her kids or something about her kids.
Yeah.
But again, you told Detective Calhoun back in the days, which was much closer, that she never talked about her kids.
If I did, I did.
And would you agree with me that the interview you gave Detective Calhoun in 2003 was much closer to the events than today?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember telling the investigators a few weeks ago that it was difficult, or that Melissa never kept in touch with you because we didn't have cell phones back then?
What about? What was your question?
Do you remember telling the detectives a few weeks ago that one reason you couldn't keep in touch with Melissa is because we didn't have cell phones back then?
I might have said that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember telling Detective Calhoun in 2003 that you had a cell phone?
I might have had one in prepaid one.
So you would have had a cell phone?
I might have had one around that. When? 2003?
Yes.
I don't think.
If I showed you your comments from 2003, would that?
You can, yeah.
Yeah. So you do remember telling Detective Calhoun in 2003 that you had a cell phone?
That ain't got nothing to do with 2003.
This interview was given in 2003.
What was that that I was reading about?
Hang on, sir. I don't want you to state the substance of what you read, but you can ask him for clarification.
You're asking about what you were reading?
Yeah.
I believe you were describing an incident in which you had gotten into some altercation with some other boys.
Right.
And what year did that happen?
Yeah, that was around 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this interview was given to Detective Calhoun in 2003, correct?
Well, I don't understand. Why would he have that interview of something totally different in 2000?
You were describing many things during that interview with Detective Calhoun, right?
Okay.
It was about an hour-long interview, is that correct?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And it just happened to be one of the things you were telling him about?
When I got in trouble?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was before 2003 when he came to see me, though.
Okay, so you had a cell phone already in 2000?
That was, yeah, prepaid.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Now, you've testified here today that you saw marks on Melissa's body, her cheekbone, I think you said scratches on her arms and legs.
Bruises, yeah.
Bruises. And isn't it true that when you were interviewed in 2003, You never mentioned abuse. You never mentioned bruises. You never mentioned scratches. You never mentioned a single altercation to Detective Calhoun.
That might have been possible.
Isn't that correct?
Oh, I don't know if it's correct. It might be possible.
Have you ever had a chance to review the interview you gave Detective Calhoun in 2003?
No.
The DA's office didn't tell you? Do you remember an interview you gave in 2003?
I remember the interview, yeah.
In preparing you for testifying, did they tell you about a 2003 interview?
No.
Okay. And they didn't give you a transcript of it? And if I told you that in 34 pages of that transcript, there's not a single mention of bruising, altercations, scratches, or anything between Chris and Melissa, would you deny that?
I don't know. What do you mean, what I deny?
Would you deny that you never mentioned any of those things in that interview?
In the 2003 interview? I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No.
Do you remember telling the investigators a few weeks ago that you and Melissa regularly worked together?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember telling Detective Calhoun in 2003 that you only ever worked the same shift twice in the whole time that you knew her?
No.
If I showed you the transcript, would that maybe refresh your interview?
Yeah.
Your recollection?
Sure. I'll remember this as my statement.
To clarify, yes, that's your statement.
Alexis, thanks for the gifted membership.
You don't remember then telling Calhoun that I don't know who worked with her because we didn't work the same shift. I worked with her one day. Matter of fact, it's 2 days.
No, I don't remember saying that.
Okay. Just a moment, Your Honor, please.
Sure.
Mr. Dixon, have you ever been convicted of a felony?
Yes.
And when was the most recent time?
2010.
2010.
Mm-hmm.
Did they convict you of a new felony, or did they just violate your probation?
Probation violation,
Okay.
yeah.
And what was the reason for that probation violation?
Non-reporting.
In 2010?
No, 2010 is when I got arrested.
Okay. And what were you convicted of?
Robbery by intimidation.
And you were robbing a bank, is that correct?
Yes.
And you told the teller...
Not banks, one bank.
I thought I said a bank. I'm sorry.
One at a time. Who do you think I am?
And how much time did you serve?
10 years.
10 years. And you got out in 2020, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions at this time, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Fawcett?
Mr. Dixon, when did you come to find out about Melissa Wolfenbarger's open code case?
When he came and talked to me in 2003, but then I didn't hear nothing else until 2010 when I went to prison.
Okay. Did you ever see a card or image?
Yes.
With Melissa Wolfenbarger's image on it?
When I went to jail in 2010, I haven't heard anything since 2003, the interview with the detective, and then I went to jail in Fulton County in 2010, and I was playing cards, and her picture was on a playing card. It was a cold case files.
Okay. Prior to that, did you have any knowledge of
cards?
That there was an actual open case pending?
No, I didn't. I'd moved on, forgot.
Now, in addition to the abrasions that you've testified that you observed, did Melissa ever describe did she ever describe verbally with any type of detail what the defendant had done to her?
I heard one time that she was pulled by her hair up and down the sidewalk.
Okay. And who exactly are you referring to, and who was pulled by the hair?
Melissa.
And to the best of your recollection, who was it that's being described as the person who's responsible for that?
Christopher.
And is that information that you would have received from Melissa Wolfenbarger during that 1998 period?
Yeah.
That's all I have, Judge.
Anything else, Mr. McDermott?
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You may step down.
Okay.
Witness can be excused. Mr. Fawcett? Or may the witness be excused? Okay.
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You are excused. Ms. Hilton, state may call its next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Christina Garrett.
The state must be at the bottom of the barrel.
Ladies and gentlemen, while the witness is coming in, I just want to apologize for all of my sniffling. I got a case of the sniffles over the weekend, so sorry about that.
Yeah. Patient zero here, apologizing to everybody who have to be here in her presence. That previous witness, I think, had credibility issues. Although he was very truthful in his testimony, his demeanor, like he wasn't trying to hide anything. He was open that way, but I think the weight of his testimony might be lessened a little bit and possibly not have helped the state. Grizzly's awesome. Thank you very much for being here. I have a lot of Grizzlies here.
So why don't we go ahead and let the witness come on up, and then y'all can get that arranged.
Everyone's trying to figure out what's going on.
Thank you, ma'am. If you'll come up to the witness stand, when you get there, before you have a seat, if you'll turn and face the deputy and raise your right hand, she'll swear you in.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give to the court today that you will truly the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Okay, you may be seated.
This is not Anne Hathaway. This is not Anne no, I don't know who this is.
Christina Garrett.
Christina Garrett.
And good afternoon. How old are you?
Just turned 30.
And when you say you just turned 30, when was your birthday?
August 15th.
Was that on Friday?
Friday. Yes, ma'am.
Happy birthday.
Do you have any siblings?
Yes.
How many?
I have one full, one half, both brothers.
Hang on. Forgive me. Yeah. Actually, normally I'm telling witnesses to scoot forward, but I think you're so far forward that you're talking past the microphone.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. If you'll just scoot up towards the microphone so that you're in front of it to make sure that we can hear you, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead.
All right. Now you said you have one full brother.
Correct.
What do you mean by when you say I have one full brother?
By the same mom and the same dad.
And who is your, what's the name of that brother?
Joey.
And who is your mother and your father?
Melissa and Chris Wolfenbarger.
And how old is Joey?
Turned 29 on July 5th.
And what year was he born?
1996.
She's scared to
And
death.
then you have a second Is it a half brother or sister?
Half brother.
What is his name?
Alias.
And what year was he born?
2006.
They named him Alias?
And do you all share the same father?
Correct.
Are you the oldest?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you currently working?
No, ma'am.
Have you previously worked?
I have.
What type of work have you done?
I was a server at a steakhouse, and I worked in hotels briefly.
Are you married?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have children?
Yes, ma'am.
How many children do you have?
3 boys.
Now, were you raised by Melissa Wolfenbarger or Christopher Wolfenbarger?
Christopher Wolfenbarger's parents raised me.
And what are their names?
Kathy and Alan.
These are Chris's parents?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's their last name?
Wolfenbarger.
Your Honor, we can't see the demonstrative. It'd be helpful if we could all see it.
Your Honor, if you put it up there, they won't be able to see the witness, so leave.
Well, I will, I mean, it will block the jury door. We'll have to move it, but if you want to put it there, then everybody would be able to see it, and possibly the only person with their back to it would be you.
Okay.
If you put it there to the left of the TV screen.
I think we're either playing Pictionary.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Pictionary or drawing a stick figure family chart.
And did you have a name for Alan?
Yes, I called him Boo. B-O-O.
It's okay because the jury door is not a fire exit.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you were younger, what, if anything, did you call Kathy?
At first, Mom.
And at some point in time, did that change from calling her mom?
It did.
We'll get there. Okay. When you were younger, who did you think was your biological mother?
Chris's parents.
Did you think that Alan was your father as well?
Yes, ma'am.
I like that thick stitch on her jacket lapel.
Why did you think Kathy was your mother?
That was my earliest memories were with her and with Boo.
When you were younger, did anyone ever tell you that Kathy was not your biological mother?
No.
When you were younger, did Kathy ever talk to you about Melissa?
No, ma'am.
Did Alan ever talk to you about Melissa?
No, ma'am.
Now, at any point in time, did you ever live with anyone else besides Kathy or Alan?
I didn't go stay with Chris until senior year of high school, but until then I lived with both of them.
I apologize. No, you're fine. Just try and keep your voice up a little bit because Miss Cantrell and I have our back. You have your back to us.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Now, did Kathy and Boo have any other children?
They had Chris and then his sister Kimberly, who we called Kitty.
Who's older, Chris or Kitty?
Chris.
And you said Kitty's name is Kimberly?
Kimberly, yes, ma'am.
When you were younger, who did you think Chris and Kimberly struck at? What relationship did you think that Chris and Kimberly were to you?
Older siblings.
Now, at any point in time, did you ever meet Kathy's parents?
Yes.
Okay. And tell the jurors what is Kathy's parents' mother's name?
Virginia Autry. We called her Nanny.
And then what is Kathy's father's name?
William Autry. We called him Papa.
And what did you call Virginia?
Nanny. Yes, ma'am.
When you were younger, what relationship did you think you had with Virginia and William?
I thought those are my grandparents.
Excuse my handwriting.
You're totally fine.
Now, when you were younger, did you have an understanding of the term great-granddaughter?
No, ma'am.
Had you heard that term?
I would hear my nanny tell other people that I was her great-granddaughter.
And what was your
But not ever
understanding
did.
of what Nana was telling other people?
I thought that meant out of all of her grandchildren that I was her favorite.
You thought that you were the favorite, you were the greatest and the best.
Yes.
Now, where were you raised?
With Kathy in Locust Grove.
And is that down in Henry County?
It is in Henry County.
And who lived in the house with you when you were younger?
At the time, it was Kathy and Boo, and also Kitty, me, Joey. Kitty was also with a man named Philip, and they had a baby, Tristan. I'm sorry.
So you said it was Kathy? What was Kitty's?
She was with a man, Philip, and they had Tristan.
And then you and Joey?
And then me and my brother Joey. Yes, ma'am.
And what did they call you?
Chrissy.
Now, your Nana and Pawpaw, where do they live?
Stockbridge.
Now, to your knowledge, when you were younger, did your family have property in the city of Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay. How did you become aware that your family had property in the city of Atlanta?
Nanny and Kathy would take us up there to check on the properties.
Do you know where the properties were?
Brookline, off of Avon Avenue.
Do you know how many properties that they have on Brookline?
I know of at least 3.
All on Brookline?
Yes, ma'am. Across the road from each other.
Speak up for me.
I'm sorry, across the road from each other.
And you said 2 of them were across the street from each other.
They were.
Did you have any family that lived in any of those 3 houses?
As far as I know, it was only family in the house.
Only family. Who lived on Brookline? What family members?
There was Nanny and Pawpaw's first son, Ricky.
Okay.
One of Nanny's brothers.
Do you know his name?
It was either Roy or Troy. They were twins, and I'm not sure which one of the twins.
Anyone else?
And then my parents had the other property.
Your parents had the other property.
Mm-hmm.
And we say your parents talking about Melissa and
Chris and Melissa, yes, ma'am.
Now I want to talk about your childhood, probably somewhere between the ages of 8 and younger, okay?
Okay.
That period of your childhood. And what year were you born?
1995.
So around 2003.
Okay.
Okay? What was your relationship like with Chris?
I didn't know him at the time until he came to visit Kathy at her Locust Grove house.
You said you didn't know him at the time?
No.
Okay. And you said not until he came to visit at Kathy's house?
He came to talk with Kathy. I'm not sure what for, but they were just talking, and I happened to be there at the time.
When he would come over and talk to Kathy, would he spend time with you?
Very little.
Your earliest memory about how old do you think you are?
Would have been about 5.
At that time when you saw him coming to speak to Kathy, around 5 years old, did you know he was your biological father?
No, ma'am.
At any point in your childhood, between 5 and 8, did you come to learn that he was your biological father?
Yes, I was told by Kathy he was my dad after that visit.
That must have been wild.
At that time, once you learned that Chris was your father, did you know who your mother, your biological mother was?
No, ma'am.
Did Kathy or Chris ever explain to you at that time who your biological mother was?
No, ma'am.
As a child, what did you think about Chris being your father and now Kathy being your mother, as you thought in your head at that time?
It was very confusing. Didn't make sense.
Why?
It just seemed odd. I thought Boo was my dad, so.
Now, do you have any memory of Melissa?
No, ma'am.
Now, when you were younger, did you ever see any pictures of Melissa?
I saw a picture that had been behind the door and it got taken down.
Behind the door?
The front door of Kathy's house.
About how old were you, do you think, when you saw this picture behind the door?
About 5.
And when you say behind the door, is this the bedroom door, bathroom door, kitchen door?
The living room door.
And explain when you say behind the door, is it like a picture that was on the door, on the wall, or something?
It was on the wall behind the door.
Why did you think that that was a picture of your mother?
It was a picture of me and my brother, very small, and it was when I saw that there was Chris, the man that I had just seen, was also there posed as the dad, and there was another woman that I didn't recognize.
Did you ever ask anyone about that picture?
Yes.
Who did you ask?
Kathy.
At this point, do you remember any response that Kathy gave about that picture?
She took the picture down.
Before taking the picture down, did she explain who the lady was in the picture?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever see any other pictures with that lady between that age of 5 and 8?
I found them probably closer to it being 8 or 9 in Kathy's closet.
When you said they were in Kathy's closet, describe to the jury what you're talking about.
So in the top of the master closet, it was a walk-in closet. She had lots of photo albums. So I pulled some down, started going through the pictures, and saw a lot more pictures of the same woman that had been in that picture.
And when you saw these photos of that same woman, what did you do?
Wanted to go to Kathy and ask her about them.
And did you, I'm sorry.
Just that she packed them up. She didn't want to talk about it.
So I'm saying clearly, after you saw the pictures, you went and asked Kathy about those pictures.
Yes, ma'am.
Did she ever give you explanations as to who that person was?
No, ma'am.
What did she do with the pictures after you asked her about them?
She took the photo albums and moved them to a shed in the backyard.
So that removing them from her closet and taking them outside of the house into a shed?
The shed was actually a locked shed, and the key to the shed was in Boo's room separate from the master room.
After she took those pictures and put them in the shed and locked them, did you ever see those pictures ever again?
No, ma'am.
after not seeing those pictures, did you ever see any other pictures of your mother?
I did get some pictures from Nanny. She had some at her house, but she let me have copies of them.
You said she did let you have copies?
She did.
Now, did Nanny ever explain to you who the lady was in those pictures?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that how you learned who your mother was?
Yes, ma'am.
Without telling me what Nana said, was Nana ever able to tell you about the relationship between your biological mother and Chris?
She explained it was very troubled.
Do you have any knowledge as to whether or not Chris and Melissa lived with your Nana?
Yes.
Did they ever live with your Nana?
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
A little silence as they whisper.
Not before 2003. I would have been much older.
around 2003, how did you come to learn about Melissa's parents?
At the funeral.
When you say the funeral, what funeral?
Melissa's funeral.
And sitting here today, can you remember when the funeral was?
Would have been early in the year. I want to say either 2002 or 2003.
Did your Nana ever talk to you about Melissa's parents?
Yes.
If we're talking about 2003, did Nana speak to you about Melissa's parents before the funeral or after the funeral?
It was on the way to the funeral.
Whoa.
And on the way to the funeral, did you get an understanding of who Melissa's parents were to you?
No, we were told they were bad people and that we didn't want to talk to them.
And who was relaying this information?
Kathy and Nanny.
Now, when you get to the funeral, let me actually strike that. Who all went to the funeral that you can remember?
Kathy, Nanny, me, my brother, Kitty, and Chris.
And did everyone, from what you can remember, want to go to the funeral?
No, ma'am.
Who didn't want to go to the funeral?
Chris and Kathy both didn't want to go.
And this was the funeral of your mother?
Yes, ma'am.
Melissa?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, once you got to the funeral, strike that, I'm making that inference. Did you get to the funeral?
Yes, ma'am.
Once you got to the funeral, did you see the individuals identified as the Pattons?
Yes, ma'am.
How were you made aware that some people there were the Pattons?
They were sitting on the front row.
And seeing them, was that your first time ever seeing any of the people identified as the Pattons?
I realized I had seen Norma Patton before.
How had you seen Norma Patton previously?
She showed up at Kathy's front yard asking where her daughter was.
So this funeral was in 2003. About how much time before had Norma shown up at Kathy's house looking for her daughter?
It had been about 2 years at that point.
Now, going back to when, you used to call her Norma?
Yes.
When Norma showed up at the yard looking for her daughter, can you tell the jury what you remember about that?
Yes, we had just pulled in ourselves, so we were getting out of the car, and another woman pulled up, parked on the road, and got out and was yelling at Kathy, asking where her daughter was.
Dr. Hearsay.
You're right. I'm not offering it for the truth of the matter, sir. I'm offering it.
Come here.
Come here, says the judge, which means please approach. Come here. This is a wild case. The family ties, the whole tree, the family tree is, you know, it's convoluted. And when you start introducing a little deception into that as well, this current witness, raised by her grandparents, Chris's parents, but raised to think that they were her actual parents. So she met her brother, only later to find out it was her dad. And going to the funeral, found out about Melissa. This is like, this is wild. Now her mom and dad, who in this case were her grandparents, did tell them to avoid the other side of the family because they're bad people. Now that probably has something to do with the fact that, well, 5 murders. But I think that was before that was even known. Yeah, the mind games is crazy. All the pictures, that every time you ask a question, the picture goes missing. I mean, this is the stuff out of like a horror movie. Chris is in the red tie. That's the defendant. He's accused of killing, dismembering his wife. He would also be the father of the witness who's on the stand right now. I mean, he is. She looks like Chris. Hey, Colburn, I think it's just warming us up for the Adelson case, which is going to be wild as well. Whole family web. Man. Draw us a chart. I can't. I'm barely keeping it together right now. Long sidebar. You feel for some of these witnesses. Obviously, they're subpoenaed. They have no choice. They have to be here and testify. You can tell she would probably be just about anywhere than right here, right now. But she's doing a great job. Going forward, I don't know how the state can expect a firm conviction in this one. Ms. Hilton arguing her side. Defense counters. The judge is listening to both. The Cape of Justice is going to make a ruling here in a minute. There's so many victims. Seriously, I mean, I think the issue is there were a lot of victims. There were a lot of crimes that happened, and not just the murder ones. But there's so many victims involved.
Can you ask a question?
Please.
Sure. Tell the judge what you recall happening when this woman appeared at your home.
Yes. Okay, yes, we had just gotten home ourselves. She pulled up and parked on the road and got out of her car and started yelling at Kathy, asking where her daughter was. Kathy said, I thought she was with you. And she said, you know she's not with me, she's with Chris.
Were you asked to do anything at that point?
I was told to go inside the house.
And did you all go in the house?
We went right in front of the screen door.
So is it like little kids, you still went to hear?
Yes.
All right, I understand. And you said the we. Who is the we?
Me and my brother, Joey.
At that time when this incident occurred, did you know who that lady was?
No.
At that time, did you know that that was your biological grandmother?
No, ma'am.
Did you know who her daughter was, who she was referencing?
No, ma'am.
Did you have any idea the person she was referencing was your mother?
No, ma'am.
And even after that incident, did Kathy ever explain to you who this lady was to you?
No, she said she was confused.
Now, going back to the funeral, now, in 2003, you said that it was at the funeral that you now made the connection that this lady who's at the funeral is this lady that you had saw a few years prior.
Yes, ma'am.
At the funeral, did you ever have the occasion to speak with that lady?
No.
You said that they were all sitting on the front row. Is that a yes?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Did you speak to any of the people that were sitting on the front row?
Not that I remember.
And I should ask this, were you all in a church, a funeral home, something else? We don't remember.
No, it was at the cemetery.
Now, at the time, what was your understanding of the service that was happening?
We were told it was a celebration of life, not an actual funeral. And that the casket was empty.
And was there a casket there?
There was.
At this point, had you started asking questions about this woman you saw in the pictures?
Yes.
What kind of questions were you asking?
That was essentially when we pieced that the woman from the front yard was our grandmother, and the woman she had been talking to was our mom.
And at this point, do you ask Chris or Kathy about your mom?
Yes.
And what's Chris's response when you start asking about your mom?
That she left. She was on her way to California.
And I should ask, is this before the funeral or after the funeral?
This was right after the funeral. We didn't have questions before, sorry.
So even after the funeral and the memorial, is it my understanding that Chris is still telling you that she's left and on her way to California?
Yes, ma'am.
And that although there's a casket, she's not in the casket, she's on her way to California.
Right.
As a child, what were your thoughts about that?
It was very odd. We had been to funerals before, but they weren't exactly like that. Normally there was like a visitation before, and then you went to the cemetery. So it did seem different than other funerals we had been to. But we had never been told that the casket was empty when we went to other funerals.
Now, did there ever come a point where you started trying to find information on your own about your mother?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you do?
I went to Google.
And without telling me anything you read, did you begin to find articles?
Yes, ma'am.
That is the worst place to find out about your family, is on the internet.
Once you began Googling and finding articles, what, if anything, did you do?
That was when I had more questions, first for Kathy and then eventually for Chris.
And did you ask Kathy your questions?
Yes, ma'am.
What type of questions did you ask
I would ask questions like, so they had been married, because I wasn't sure. I was putting in Melissa Patton when I first tried to Google her and couldn't find stuff. So I would ask Kathy, like, were they married? So her last name was Wolfenbarger. How long had they been married? And she just finishes saying,
Don't tell me if she responded. Were you able to ever get any answers?
no, ma'am.
Did you then ask Chris about your mother?
Yes, ma'am.
And what, if anything, would he say to you when you began asking Chris?
Object to hearsay.
Your pardon upon information.
Overruled.
The first time I tried to ask him questions, he didn't say anything at all. He sat in total silence for what felt like an hour.
At any point in time, did he answer any of your questions?
Not until I was about middle school age.
Now, what happened around middle school when you would ask Chris questions?
Chris had a new baby. That's when Alias was born. He had gotten with Crystal and had Alias.
Now, did you ever ask Chris about locations where they may have stayed or where she may have been or anything like that?
Yes, regularly.
So those are the type of questions you would ask.
I would ask questions like, where was she staying? Where was she working? Like he would say she would run off. So like, where would she run off to? Never was told a location though.
So when you would ask detailed questions, would he ever be able to provide you detailed answers?
No, ma'am.
And at that time, as you're getting older in middle school, do you still think your mother had just kind of went and ran off to a different place?
Part of me did, yeah.
Now, you said around middle school, did your relationship, prior to this, what was your relationship like with Chris?
We didn't have much of one, to be honest.
Did there ever come a time when you and Chris developed a relationship?
Yes, I would say about 2006.
Can you describe to the jury how did your relationship develop around 2006?
For several years, he had been living down in Savannah and then again in Dublin. So just because of the distance, we wouldn't see him very much. But about 2005, he moved back up towards Henry County and then to Griffin. So we saw him a lot more often.
Now, during this time in 2006, I know you spoke to Chris about your mother. Would you ever still speak to Kathy about your mom now around this 2006 time frame?
Not as much, just because we knew we wouldn't get information from her.
Now, did you ever live with Chris?
My senior year of high school.
Why did you end up living with Chris?
I wound up fighting with Kathy pretty regularly by the time I was in high school. And so at the time I was 17, I was like, I can figure it out from here. And Chris actually met me at a Waffle House and asked me not to do that, to stay with him until I turned 18.
And did you stay with him until you turned 18?
I did.
Now, what about Joey? Did Joey move with you and Chris, or did Joey stay with Kathy?
Joey stayed with Kathy then, but did end up moving with Chris after I had moved out.
And when you lived with Chris, who all lived with you?
That was Chris and Crystal. Crystal had Brianna and Alias and me.
And about what year is this?
Would have been December 2012 to October 2013.
Is it 2013?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, as a young adult or high school, did you ever get into kind of true crime television?
I did.
How did you get into watching true crime television?
I was very interested. There was a rise of true crime shows at that time too, like Law and Order and Criminal Minds and all of that. I was in a criminal justice class in high school, so we would watch some of the episodes during class, and then I would go home and watch more.
And
That's
did
awesome.
you ever talk to your dad about some of the shows that you were watching?
We did.
And what would you talk to him about?
Anytime there was a case that just seemed interesting or, you know, like not a typical case, we would talk about it when we were in the car.
And would he ever have any response about what you were telling him about those types of shows?
Yes, there would be times where we would talk about it, and it would be, there was a time in particular where he said that that wasn't the way that they should have done it.
And when you said that was the way that you should have done it, explain to me kind of what you said to him, what you remember, and his response. Give me some more context.
Yes, it was a murder case, and the person had been free for several times. Like, it was a very old murder case that he had been found on. And Chris said that that wasn't the way that he should have hid the body to begin with. You go out there when they're about to build a new house and put it under where the foundation of the house is going to go. And so when the crew comes back to lay the foundation the next morning, they're just going to continue building the house.
So was he trying to explain, is that how you hide a body?
Yes, ma'am.
And when he said that to you, what was your reaction to that?
It caught me off guard at first.
You said at first?
Yes, we were on our way to the gas station, so it was kind of convenient time for him to say it. I could just kind of sit there until he got done pumping gas. And then the conversation resumed after.
Did you ever ask him any questions once he said, you know, this is how you kind of hide the body, you get buried under?
Yes, it was like, it sounds like you're talking about my mom.
That's what you said to him?
Right.
Did he have a reaction?
Yes.
What was that?
That was when he told me that he didn't know where my mom was. He didn't know if she was in heaven, hell, Stockbridge, but he wished that he did.
And when he said he didn't know if she was in heaven, hell, or Stockbridge, was that now different than her being in California or somewhere else?
Very much so.
Now, did Chris ever talk to you about places to hide?
Places to hide?
Or having places to go to hide?
Not that I know of directly. It would be like through other people.
What do you mean?
Like,
Object to hearsay.
yeah, like through Joey.
Hey,
Okay.
thank you.
So he never told you directly?
No, ma'am.
This is our current witness, Christina Garrett.
Do you recall ever talking to some law enforcement about kind of conversations with your dad?
I remember talking to a detective in 2021.
And do you recall if you ever talked to them about some of these things that your father would say?
Yes.
Objection.
Mr. McDermott, what's the basis of the objection?
Withdrawn for the moment, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
And do you remember talking to them about your father telling you about having places to hide or knowing where to go to have places to hide?
Correct.
In 2021? I can't recall, I'm sorry.
Or in any kind, how many times do you think you've spoken with law enforcement? And I'm talking about the prosecutors, police.
Several times since 2021, yes.
Do you remember in any of those conversations ever telling police that your father would tell you that he had places to hide or he would know where to go and hide?
Sorry, no, sorry.
Maybe have to refresh your recollection here.
On a Zoom with Mr. Fawcett, Mr. Wilson, and Detective Shepard?
Yes.
And do you remember maybe a phone call in maybe about 2015 with a Sergeant Lacoste, a telephone call?
I did make a phone, yes.
And do you remember maybe another telephone call with a Investigator Shepard by himself?
Yes, I did.
And I want to make sure I'm accurate. Is it that today you don't remember having any conversations in any of those scenarios about
Objection asked and answered.
Overruled.
about Chris talk to you about having places to hide?
I'm sorry, can you ask me that one more time? I'm sorry.
No problem. Is it your testimony, I want to make sure I'm clear, that you don't remember in any of those conversations talking to any of those individuals about Chris having a place to hide? Or telling you that
The most that I can remember is him saying he could get away.
Okay. What do you remember about that?
Just that he was able to get away.
Is that the only thing he said, or is there more context to that statement?
I remember like when he got his license in 2013 and he came back home to show us the license, it had his old address on it. And he said during that conversation that when they come looking for me, they'll go to East McIntosh, not Liberty Circle.
And he said when they come looking for me, did he ever talk about the who or the they that they were referring to?
No, ma'am.
Now, I know at the funeral you said that you saw these individuals and you knew them to be the Pattons. Did there ever come a point where you actually officially met the Pattons?
Not until I was 19.
What happened when you were 19 when you met the Pattons?
I was on Facebook, and on the People You May Know, I saw my mom's picture and it had her name as if it was her Facebook page. So I clicked on it, and it explained that, you know, we've been fighting for justice. So I messaged the page to be who is we, you know, like who is running this page and who are you? And that's when I was told that it was her family, the Pattons, that have been running the page. And so I introduced myself over Facebook Messenger, and then we set up a time to meet at a Moe's in McDonough.
At Moe's. They met at Moe's.
And
Wow.
when you met at the Moe's in McDonough, is that the first time at 19 that you'd ever really met the Pattons?
Right, right.
Who all was at that meeting?
And that meeting was Norma Patton, Tina Patton, her son, JC, and her daughter, Kimberly.
Whose son and daughter is Stacey?
Tina Patton.
And at that point, did you recognize any one of those individuals?
Yes.
Who did you recognize?
I recognized Norma from her car in the parking lot. It was the same car.
The same car from when?
From when she stopped out front of Kathy's house, from the funeral, it had been the same car the whole time.
And about what year is this that you're 19?
That would have been 2014.
So she had the same car in 2003.
Yes.
Gotta hold on to the cars. And when you met the Patton family, did they talk to you about your mother and who she was?
Yes.
Since meeting the Patton family, what is your relationship like?
I mean, we met frequently. I moved to Valdosta shortly after that and spent 5 years there. And then I came back up to Conyers in 2020. So that was over COVID. We didn't see each other that much then either.
And now, do you even live in the state of Georgia?
No, ma'am. I'm in Tennessee.
And at this point in your life, how often do you see the Patton family?
Not often.
Is it fair to say that this week you've seen them multiple times?
Right, aside from this week.
Prior to this week, when was the last time you think you saw the Pattons?
It's been at least a year.
Prior to this, when was the last time you spoke to anyone in the Patton family?
Last would have spoke to Norma Patton, and that would have been several months ago.
And out of everyone, Norma, Tina, your cousins, who do you speak with the most?
Norma Patton.
What is your relationship like with your brother, Joey?
I haven't talked to him in several years either.
To your knowledge, who is Joey living with?
Kathy.
Do you have any knowledge of Joey's relationship with the Pattons?
I don't think he has one.
Now, when I first asked about Joey, to your knowledge, what is Joey's relationship like with the Wolfenbargers?
As far as I know, he still talks to him.
And he still lives with Kathy?
As far as I know.
Sustained.
And does he still live with Kathy?
As far as I know.
When is the last time you spoke to Kathy?
2017, maybe?
Do you have a relationship at all with any other local partners?
No, ma'am.
Just time-wise, when is the last time you spoke to Chris?
2013. I think I saw him once in 2017.
And you have a current relationship with Chris?
No, ma'am.
Just indulge us for a moment.
Sure.
This witness has not come out.
No further questions.
Being for
Thank you.
or against.
Ladies and
one side
gentlemen
or
of the
other.
jury, we're going to take a quick break, just that afternoon break, 10 minutes or so. Try and get back in here as close to 3:45 as we can. So the jury's excused for 10 minutes. Thank you.
All right, the jury.
Ma'am, you may step down until we call you back, okay? Okay, thank you.
And some tough life situations. We're wandering. There we go. See if the judge has anything for us before we get a break. The original Bleach X.
We're on recess for 10 minutes. Thank you.
Welcome back. We get a 10-minute break from the judge. One of the shorter breaks. That's okay. We've had a lot of late starts. Aria is amazing. So is this chat. I've been away for a while because my previous job blocked YouTube. I like how you say previous job. It sounds like you got a new job that lets you watch YouTube. That is great. Thank you very much. Y'all are great. Love to have you back. That's awesome. This is a convoluted story. This is it's complicated. I mean, if there ever was it's complicated. If there's a reason to have that setting on your Facebook, relationship status, this would be it, because this is complicated. We've got multiple crimes, multiple families, and just connection after connection. Don't think the lady was trying to hide anything. She was just a casualty of this mess. I agree. She was just like, this is how I grew up. Grandma and Grandpa, I thought were my mom and dad. Every time I'd ask questions, anything that sparked my question would get hidden and disappear. Pictures get put away, locked in the shed. Questions were not answered. It's pretty rough. It's sad. I think she's doing phenomenally on the stand. I think she's doing great. I think her demeanor in answering questions comes across quite truthful, even if she's struggled a little bit. And this, I'm not putting this on her. I'm putting this on the state. And for the same reason, this is probably the fourth, possibly the fifth witness in this trial where the state has said, remember how we talked a little while ago, and do you remember you said this? And the people on the stand are saying, no. Like, remember? Wink, wink, wink. Remember this? No. Nope. It looks bad. It looks really bad on the state. I realized that, we had our friend Thomas from Waffle House on the stand, and that was eye-opening. That was a different lifestyle choices and things like that. And the defense did not try to paint him as a possible third-party culprit or anything, but I don't think it did any favors to the prosecution as far as pushing their case forward. What you got all that out of Thomas, Mr. Dixon, on the stand about Waffle House and the boss waiter relationship or the manager waiter relationship and drinking beer on the job and all that and the affairs and whatever for what? She never, either she did or she didn't talk about abuse. We got both ways. That she did or didn't talk about her children. Got both ways. And that one time Chris showed up and you said, hey, basically, well, she's on the clock. She's my concern, not yours. And then he peeled out and left. That was what it was worth, because it seemed a little weak on that. But the state has not prepared their witnesses. I think the problem is the state tried to prepare their witnesses with something different than what had been in the reports previously. They got some other information, and maybe that's what it was. Maybe if you look at everything the state has tried to introduce with these witnesses, when they talked to them a while back, maybe that's why they said they could reopen this case, because they started talking to people and they heard something different this time around. And so they're like, let's go forward with that. But the people aren't remembering what they said the first time around, if that's how it happened. Original Bleach, yes sir, I'm GS-13 for the United States Space Force, and the building I'm in allows us to get to YouTube now. Thanks for all you do. That's awesome. I used to work for DISA, but as a contractor. So I think you might understand the role DISA plays, or DFAS, or WAF, or a million other acronyms. Don't know how many people here watch the YSL trial. I watched every single day from the jury selection. It says AOL podcast. This is the most corrupt system I've seen in a while. They got away with a lot until law tubers are here. They're still trying. I would say, this is what I'd say, AOL. Fulton County has not changed. We're just seeing it now. Is the defense trying to say Melissa's dad is a possible culprit? That would be the grandpa or who this last witness thought was her dad. I don't think they've said that. I don't think so. Defense did a really good job with Mrs. Patton on the stand, in showing how Melissa's dad and or mom, mainly mom, might have motive for something drastic against Melissa. With how badly they tried. This is just funny. There's a lot of truth there. With how badly they tried to keep her and Christopher apart. Not Boo, but Carl, right? Oh, that Carl they're saying that Carl might be responsible. I think defense is not going to come out and say that, but they just want that thought to be in the jury's mind. If that's what the jury's thinking, they'll be happy with that. The jury just thinks, what if it was her dad? I think they want to keep her on the stand for longer as they enjoy talking to the one insane person in this trial. Courts don't get into trouble. They just keep on doing their thing. Yeah, unfortunately, they don't have a lot of people to answer to. Chrissy discussing true crime with the defendant. Yeah, with where to hide a body. And coming out and saying, it sounds like you're talking about my mom when she's talking about how to hide a body and dispose of a body. Wow. What a total boss move in that conversation. This jury has a big job. It does. But I don't see how they can. I haven't seen the evidence yet that would allow them to, beyond reasonable doubt, convict. This is one of the prosecutors from YSL. This is Miss Hilton. And we saw some of the similar things in that trial, so we've seen this one, especially with evidence and turning things over. I'm not sure if she's going to be asked or not, that question. Possibly the end. Yeah, there's plenty of suspicion and plenty of wrongdoing all around. Nikki Zeebs, member for 28 months. OG. Whoop whoop, love it here. Thanks so much, RA, for everything you do and don't do. I love you and all my addict friends. Thank you, Nikki. Thanks for 28 months. It seems unreal. Seems like we just started the other day. This witness seems pretty normal considering the family she's from. She does seem quite. Maybe it's because she's a true crime fan that she's digging into this. Maybe that's what it is. Future, I'm surprised they're calling the witnesses they have. Like the Waffle House guy, Mr. Dixon. I don't know why the state called him. If they're going to call everyone they possibly can that's still alive, basically, just to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. It's crazy. Just the more people they call that have forgotten what happened, that don't know, that testified differently than previously. It's just, you're piling reasonable doubt upon reasonable doubt. There are some interesting people for sure. Jackie, this is not the case to only get in bits and pieces, unfortunately. This one's pretty convoluted. I think towards the end of this case, it might be helpful, like to renew, like in front of the jury. I think they should have a chart to show the relationships again, so the jury can just see it on paper in front of them one time. She found the patents. She found the patents on Facebook, and she found them by searching for her mom, seeing a Facebook page run looking for justice for Melissa, and then she reached out to the page saying, "Hey, who are you?" Basically, heads up, that's my mom you're talking about. Wild. And then she met with them at Moe's. They met up, and so it sounds like she's not talking to the parents, her grandparents who raised her, and she is talking to the Pattons. So if there's a side she was on, it would be on the Justice for Melissa side. But I don't know if she's on board with and Chris is the one responsible side. She hasn't come out in her comments and been just blatantly like, I think he did it at all. She hasn't talked to her brother in a while. The clock view just tricked me into thinking it was time to leave work. Let's see, it is only 3:48. It's not. I have an hour and 11 minutes. You must be in a different time zone. The page came up as a suggested friend. I don't think she actively sought it out. Oh, you're right. That's what she said, Squidward. She had searched for her mom previously and wanted to know what names to search for and if they'd been married and things like that. I conflated the two. State needs to do better trial prep with witnesses, or just do some. That would be great. And a banana. I think defense wanted that idea to be out there without saying it. I think we could still discuss and debate respectfully the issues of the system that we are all here to watch. I definitely know there's a line for the chat rules, but not everything should be off the table. Are you saying we should be able to talk about everything on here? Because I'm a firm believer you should be able to talk about anything you want to, and I will even help you set up your YouTube channel to do that. I've just set rules for my channel is all. And that's my call. That's why we say pickles, not politics. The waffle guy looked like Jim McIntyre. Yep, got a call coming in. Hang on.
Mr. Wolfenbarger is present in the courtroom along with his counsel. The state's attorneys are here, and the witness is back on the stand.
They just came back. Can we do it on the next break?
Anything that we need to take up before the jury comes back?
All right, thanks, man. Bye.
Nothing from the defense.
Okay, we're ready for the jury.
That's because I'm mean. Yes, I'm just mean about that. 10 minutes are up. The jury's coming back in. Was she missing her cape? I think it's over her shoulders. Looks like her over her shoulders on the Zoom feed. Maybe she sort of just threw it off and had it on her chair, and then she pulled it back over.
All rise for the jury.
Everyone's getting sick in this courtroom. I'm calling it.
Thank you all. Please be seated. Mr. McDermott, questions for this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Christina.
Yes, sir.
You said you're 30 years old now?
I am.
Oh, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
And you live in Nashville?
South in Nashville.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And you went to college in Valdosta?
I did.
What degree did you get?
I didn't.
Oh.
Got a Mrs. degree.
Uh-oh. An MRS degree, right? I've heard about those.
Yes.
Where do you work currently?
I don't.
Okay. Fair enough. You talked about going to your mother's funeral, and did you say that you saw the Patton family there?
Just saw them sitting in chairs.
And you didn't know who they were at the time?
No, I mean, I recognized the Norma Patton from the front yard, but I didn't know who was sitting beside her or anything about them.
And did you say that you had asked Kathy who these people were?
Right.
And she responded?
They're bad people. You don't want anything to do with them.
Okay. And knowing what you know now, looking back, didn't they have a good reason to say something like that?
Objection, speculation. Sustained. You can rephrase.
Thank you. You are aware that the Patton family in
I am.
2003 had confessed to, or at least Carl Patton had confessed to killing 5 people.
Yes.
And that Norma had helped with a couple of those.
Yes.
So, and that was public knowledge before the funeral.
I didn't find out until I started Googling. But I
you know
Googled
that.
them too, yes.
You do know that now?
I do.
Okay. So, do you think that the Christopher's family had a good reason for saying that?
Objection, speculation. Overruled.
It's allowed.
You can answer the question.
Okay, I don't think that they said it for no reason. Yes, I think there was reasons for them saying that.
Okay. You said that when you were living at Kathy's house, somewhere around your age 8 or so,
Right,
you recall these pictures coming down.
right.
Your Honor, I have a self-authenticating document here. Do I need to get you to clear it first?
Yeah, why don't y'all both come up and show me what you're talking about?
What you got that's self-authenticating? A newspaper article? An obituary? Can't just be a photo in and of itself. Dang it, Google. Yeah. Look what Google started. I think this will probably come in because if it's self-authenticating, it will probably come in. Unless it's like clearly just like not relevant.
So yeah, my understanding is, I think it would be helpful. I understand you've represented that it's self-authenticating, but if you'll just give a general statement of what it is, and then Ms. Hilton can put any objection she has on the record.
So I have a copy of the application for divorce and the court's order granting a divorce to Christopher Wolfenbarger from Melissa Wolfenbarger in the year 2002 in the Superior Court of Liberty County.
Any objection, Ms. Hilton?
No, just what's the defense exhibit number?
What's the number?
I believe it's 7.
Okay, defense 7 is admitted. Go ahead, sir.
You said this is from 2002?
I'm showing you the document now.
Okay.
And you can, I should have highlighted it to make it easier. But can you read the file stamp date on that, please?
Filed, it looks like, I can't tell the county that it says, but it says filed county clerk office, the 2nd of January 22.
That's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Good job. So this was January 22nd of 2002, correct?
Yes.
And you would have been about 7 years old?
Correct.
When this happened? So the pictures were coming down in in Kathy Wolfenbarger's house roughly around the time Christopher had completed his divorce.
Correct.
Okay. I don't have any further questions for this witness.
Thank you. Ms. Hilton, anything else for this witness?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. You may sit down.
Thank you.
And the witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. McDermott?
Nothing else, Your Honor?
Okay. Yes, you are excused. Thank you. Mr. Wilson, state may call its next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. We would call Detective Ayden Calhoun.
Detective Calhoun. He's their lead, right? Well, judge is done with those notes. In the garbage they go. Guess she's not big on file retention and official documents and all that stuff. Calhoun's going to take the stand. This might be a longer witness for sure. Nope. Okay, done with that one.
Stand. If you'll turn and face the deputy before you have a seat, raise your right hand. He'll swear you in. Okay, sir?
He you swear affirm that the testimony you will give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Can you state and spell your name for the record?
Thank you, sir. If you'll take just a moment to get situated, especially be care of the rolly chair next to the ledge there. And if you'll scoot up to the microphone, pull it down so we can hear you, and then state and spell your name for the record, sir.
My name is Alton, middle initial B, Calhoun, A-L-T-O-N. Again, BCALHOUN.
Are you here by special appearance?
And what county do you live in now, sir?
I live in Upson County.
And did you ever work for the Atlanta Police Department?
Yes, sir, I did.
When were you hired there?
I was hired by the Atlanta Police Department in April, I believe, of 1986.
And tell the jury what happens when you get hired by the Atlanta Police Department. What procedures do you take?
Once you're hired by the Atlanta Police Department, of course, you go through a whole series of background investigations and things before you're hired. And in my case, after they went through the backgrounds, I was hired as a police officer. I was what we would call a recruit in the city of Atlanta, meaning I had no sworn capabilities, but I worked in the city of Atlanta as a police recruit up until the time I went into the police academy.
And when you go to the police academy, do you receive training in that?
Yes.
And what kind of training do you receive?
No, the training is similar. The best I can put it in perspective, if you've ever been in the military and went to boot camp, a lot of physical training. You learn about particular things that's related to the police department, training with respect to police and laws, criminal laws, and things of that nature.
And I assume you passed the academy?
Yes, sir, I did.
And after you get through the academy, what happens next?
After I graduated from the academy, as with the case with everyone, you'll spend a certain amount of time in what they call field training, where you're riding with seasoned veteran officers, getting to learn the ropes, so to speak, as a police officer. After that field training, then you will probably be assigned to your new job duty as a patrol officer. In Atlanta's case, a particular precinct. I went to Zone 3 precinct.
Zone 3?
Yes.
What general area is that?
Zone 3 precinct is that part of west Atlanta, southeast Atlanta, all the way down through Cleveland Avenue, starts up near I-20 and Murphy Avenue, and in that area. It goes all the way over to the city of Atlanta, DeKalb County limits.
Are you familiar with the term post-certified?
Yes, sir, I am.
Could you please tell the jury what that means?
Post-certified is police officers' standards. It's required of all police officers in the state of Georgia to be post-certified. It's a set of standards that they've established, and they set those standards, and it includes training and yearly certifications.
So you have to do, in order to maintain a post-certification, you have to do updated training? Yes, we're required to do updated training with respect to new laws that are coming in, new procedures, and very sorted things, but we're required to do that in order to keep our post-certification. And what happens if you don't stay post-certified? Can you be a police officer?
No, you can no longer be a police officer if you're not post-certified or be able to perform police duties.
You said you were in the uniform division. Is that typical how people start out?
Yes, you're going to start out in the uniform division.
How long were you in the uniform division?
I was in the uniform division for 8 years.
And then after you were there, what did you do next?
After my 8 years in uniform division, I was assigned directly to the homicide unit. I believe it was 1994.
And that was 1994?
Yes.
And what sort of things, do you get any training when you get into homicide?
No, you get that assignment, and then all the training comes after you get that particular assignment.
What sort of trainings have you taken for being a homicide detective?
Well, I'll tell you, start at the very basic training. When you go to, in my case, as every investigator in the police department in Atlanta, when you go to homicide, you don't automatically go and start working homicides. You're going to ride along with seasoned homicide investigators and doing a myriad of things from crime scene canvassing, and things of that nature. And then eventually at some point when you spend a certain amount of time there, is things that you get to have an understanding of what's going on. You'll be put in what we call in Atlanta the rotation to work homicides.
What does that mean?
To be in rotation means that, it's a term that we use, is everyone, it's like imagine a wheel. If you're up in the rotation, that means you're the next person that will get that very next call for a homicide or a death investigation. And once you get that, you'll go down to the bottom of the wheel and you'll just wait your next turn into rotation. And there are investigators between you.
And is that how you, that's the assignment of the lead detective, is that correct?
What is
the wheel when you hit the rotation?
Yes, you are. Yes, and essentially, when you're in the rotation, when that call comes up for homicide, death investigation, or whatever, you will be the lead investigator, meaning you have the responsibilities for this particular case.
And could you tell the jury what being a lead is, kind of what entails being a lead?
It entails you're going to manage that case. That case is yours. Now, you're going to manage everything from that case, from, what happens with the evidence. Were you able to discover any witnesses? Who are those? What did you tell? You're directing. I'll give the average things. When you roll up on a homicide as the lead, I don't necessarily focus on one thing. I'm focusing and directing investigators. Someone will say something. Well, can you take care of this witness? Can you do this? We got statements. Can you take those guys back to the office for statements? You're directing that particular homicide investigation.
Detective, how long were you in homicide?
20 years till I retired.
Okay. And did you get any experience working specifically with cold cases?
Yes. I spent 5 years as a cold case investigator. I actually was assigned to the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. They had a cold case unit, and I worked that with another investigator from the Atlanta Police Departments and other investigators from different agencies within the Fulton County.
Detective Calhoun, could you estimate during your career, how many homicides were you the lead on?
It seems crazy.
Investigators, what he means.
I know more than 100, well more than 100 or 150. You're talking about a 20-year career. I can remember there were some times where, we had years where an investigator may get 10 or more homicides as the lead. And that's what that's based on. I've never kept a tablet and counted all of the particular homicides that I had as a lead.
It's just a lot.
It's a lot, yes.
Okay. And you say that you are retired now.
Yes, sir.
When did you retire?
I retired in 2014.
And you retired straight from homicide?
Yes, sir, I did.
And you haven't done police work since then?
No, sir.
All right, so you're not post-certified anymore?
I'm not post-certified as a police officer. I do have some certifications, but not as a police officer.
Okay. Draw your attention to 1999, a human head was found on Avon Avenue. Did you get involved in that case?
I didn't get involved in that case in 1999, no, sir. While I was aware of it, I did not get involved in it in 1999.
Did you know where? Or let me try that again. Do you know who first was assigned the case?
It was Detective Dale Kelly.
And did you do any work on it back then?
I did not do any work on that case at that time, no, sir.
Did you know the details of the case?
I know the details of the case in that there was a head found on Avon Avenue, and I was familiar with the area, but I did not know all the specifics as it related to the case. I know they were, trying to identify who the remains went to.
And do you know when the head was discovered?
believe it was April of 1999.
Okay. Were there any other body parts discovered in that area?
Yes, and that's what makes it easy to remember about that. The head was discovered in April of 1999, and a few months later, I believe in June, we discovered some more body parts, actually in a short walking distance from where the head was found.
When you say short walking distance, how far do you mean?
As I think in my mind, if I'm standing right there at Avon and Hartford Avenue, and these were all areas inside zones 3, so I may say names just because I know the area. It's just stand right there at that corner, Avon and Hartford, and maybe walk 10 yards to Hartford. I maybe walk another 20 yards down Hartford Avenue, and then just turn right there into the wooded area and go into the wooded area another 10 yards. So no more than 50 yards at the most.
Is there a business located at Avon in Hartford?
Yes, there's several businesses located over there.
Do you know any of the names of any of them?
I know of one particular big business, Action Glass.
Okay, where's that located?
That's located right there at, like I said, right there at Avon and Hartford Avenue. Actually, located right where the remains were found, right across the street, exactly.
But you didn't have originally did not have anything
Hey, well, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
With this case originally.
That is correct. I didn't have anything to do with it at that point. As talk in the office, you hear people talking about it, you see things on the media, but I did not have any direct involvement with it at that time.
Obviously, you ended up having some direct involvement. When did that happen?
In 2003, I was up in rotation.
So you were the luck of the draw?
Yes, sir.
And what did you find out?
In 2003, we learned that the head that was found in April and the remains the dismembered parts that were found in June were identified through the medical examiner's office.
We have to be careful about hearsay. When he says he learned, that means someone else told him something.
Sustained in terms of the phrasing of the question, but you can rephrase.
Thank you. You were assigned. How did you find out about this case?
Well, again, we got a call from the medical examiner's office telling us that the remains that were found a few months earlier had been identified, and we had to meet with them and discuss this.
Okay. Who all did you meet with?
I believe it was Dr. Terry with the medical examiner's office and several other people. I don't recall who all it was.
After that meeting, what did you begin doing?
After that, now we know who these remains belong to, so this is a homicide investigation, and so we started from there, as we would do with all homicides, just trying to gather information on it. Now that we know who this person is.
And is there like a database or something like that where you can put in information and see if any other department has information about cases?
Yes.
And did you do that in this case?
Well, I did not do that in this case, but again, I didn't have to do this because it was at that meeting that we discovered some other things.
Were there any other departments involved in that meeting besides, police departments?
Yes, sir, there were.
Who was there?
The detectives from the Henry County Police Department.
Do you know which detective was the lead on that?
Detective Stott.
Detective Stott. And did you have a conversation with him about the case?
Yes.
Why was that important to you?
That was important because now we know, again, we know who this person is. This person has been identified. And in speaking with Detective Stott, I learned that...
Objection.
Y'all come here, please.
Y'all come here, please. Is Georgia short for sidebar? Judge has shed the robe. She's looking rather blue. The cape is no more. Cape of Justice has been retired temporarily. Judge telling the defense, it is allowed. You can do that. I'm going to let him say that. So. Is it legal?
Mr. Wilson, if you want to, you can rephrase or move on.
Yes.
Yes.
The robe's tradition. There was a time when you had to wear a wig. You don't do that anymore.
Did you know what Detective Stott's involvement was, or did you know who he was?
I know that, again, he was an investigator in the Henry County Police Department, and I know that he was assigned a missing persons case.
Okay. And did you review his file?
No, I just spoke with him about the case file. I did not sit down and go through the file with him.
When you beginning your investigation, what was the first thing you did?
It was important that because we didn't know what was going on. We knew that there was a missing person report. I work with the
I wish they'd stop
answers
whispering.
surrounding the missing person case, and then we went from there.
Did you ever talk to? At this point, did you talk to the defendant?
Yes, at some point we did. Well, not at that point, but we eventually did.
All right, let me ask you, and who is the person that you talked to that day?
You mean when we learned? Make sure we're clear. When I learned who the missing person was?
Yes.
Oh, after I spoke with Detective Stott, you're asking?
Yes.
I learned from Detective Stott information.
Objection.
Well, who did you talk to? Do you know the name of the person you talked to?
Yes, I talked to Christopher Wolfenbarger.
Thank you. And is Christopher Wolfenbarger in this courtroom?
Yes, sir.
And could you please point him out and identify him by an article of clothing that he's wearing?
Stipulate he can identify him.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And when you talk to Mr. Wolfenbarger, did he give you any relevant information?
Yes, he did.
And what did he tell you?
He just gave us some information as to his relationship with this missing person. The person that we identified in this homicide investigation, and the relationship and some background information with respect to how long he had known her, what was their relationship, when was the last time he saw her.
And did he give you any explanation why he had not talked to his wife?
No, it was just one of those things of, he thought that she had moved on with her life. He gave us a time frame when he last saw her, but thought that she had just moved on with her life, and that was just the gist of it.
Did anything in this conversation, did you find anything unusual about this conversation? Did he say anything unusual to you?
Well, again, we're in speaking with Mr. Wolfenbarger. The one thing that I found unusual, he's telling us about, Melissa's his wife, when's the last time he saw her, and he said he saw her about last of March, April, somewhere in that time frame of 1999.
Okay. And why is that unusual?
It was unusual to me because Mr. Wolfenbarger was actually, talking about the time frame when we know the remains were found, so he could not have seen her then.
Did you ask him about any other men that she might have had in her life?
Yes, I did.
And what did you find out?
And again, in keeping with what he's telling us about their relationship and moving on, that he knew that she had been seeing someone else and actually identified this person as someone that he knew to be Mike. They worked together.
When you say they worked together, who do you mean?
He's speaking about Melissa and Mike.
Okay. And where did you find out she worked?
I learned that she worked at the Waffle House in Doraville.
Okay. Did you ask him where he thought she might be?
He just back and forth between there. No real definitive answer as to where she was laying her head or anything.
Okay. What did you do next?
With respect to that interview at that time.
Yes.
I mean, I think if I remember serving right, I think when we ended that interview, he did tell me when's the last time. He did mention seeing her walking down in the area where they used to live at on near Brookline and Murphy Avenue in that area. They went to lunch. He described, what she looked like, and she was looking kind of rough, and he just they went to Taco Bell, ate, and he put her out near the MARTA station, and they parted ways, never to see her again.
Did he give you a time frame for that conversation?
No, I don't recall him giving me a time frame.
Did he mention anything unusual about her appearance other than the fact she looked rough?
I think it was just, yes, she just looked rough. I would imagine, and what I took from that, if that's okay, was that maybe she was just out there on the streets, walking up and down the streets with no real place to go and maybe no home.
What did you do next in your investigation after speaking with them?
Okay, now that I know my victim is at that point where I'm starting to reach out to family members and talk to them about Melissa. We had to make contact with Miss Norma Patton.
Did you go to the scene?
Yes.
When did you do that?
I believe I went to the scene shortly after I talked to Mr. Wolfenbarger. And I'll back up and say this. I mean, albeit it was several years afterward, you go to the scene and you just start what you do at any homicide investigation, canvassing the area.
And were you able to let me ask you this. Were you familiar with the way the scene would have looked in 1999?
And I'm not sure if I'm understanding you.
Were you familiar with that area?
Yes. That was part of Zone 3, so I was very familiar with it.
And in 2003, had it changed very much?
No, sir.
Okay. When you went out to the scene, what did you do at the scene?
Well, and again, I'm starting at day one as if this was a fresh homicide. I started knocking on doors, talking to people.
Okay. And did you visit the Action Glass Company?
Yes, I did.
And what did you learn from that visit?
Yes, and I'll start again. It says when I went to the scene, which in the scene I'll be more clear is where they actually lived at on Brookline and where the remains were found. They were close proximity, so I did go to both of those. I'll say that as the scene.
Well, now, how far is Brookline from Action Glass and where the head was found?
I'd say by foot, no more than a 10-minute walk, maybe.
Okay. So you spoke with someone at Action Glass?
Yes, I did.
Who'd you talk to?
I talked to Mr. Brock. He was the business owner, Action Glass. In an investigation, I learned that this is where Chris worked at. It's also right across the street from where the remains were found.
And did he give you, or did he tell you anything that was relevant to the case?
He gave us information about Chris's working relationship, and he also gave us information that he.
Objection if it's going to be hearsay, Your Honor.
No.
Well, Mr. Brock's already testified, so I don't think it's offered for the truth of the matter asserted. It's just offered for his investigative purpose.
Y'all come here for a second.
What did I miss? Come back to a sidebar. I was expecting a little clarification, but nothing. Does he keep doing hearsay? Is that what we're doing? He keeps saying, so-and-so told me that. I found out from detectives. No, he can't cite hearsay. He's the lead investigator. He's just supposed to own it. This is his investigation. His face says a lot. He's telling the story we all want to hear right now.
Okay, the objection is sustained. You're going to, Mr. Wilson, if you'll please rephrase your question.
Thank you, Your Honor. So you learned relevant information from Mr. Brock, correct?
Yes.
Did you also talk to anyone else there?
I believe there was a lady that was present there as well.
Okay.
Jade, welcome to the gallery.
Now, did you
Kathy,
you said you had canvassed over at Brookline.
Yes.
What did you find relevant information over there?
Yes.
Okay. Who did you talk to over there?
I talked to several individuals, just going door to door, knocking and talking to whoever came to the door. I can recall speaking with a young lady that I identified as Dorothy Jones. She was able to give me some information about, I spoke to her about the homicide and wanted to know what, if anything, she knew about the individuals and that this thing happened to.
Now, Did you write a report on this?
Yes.
And is there a narrative?
Yes.
Is that how detectives do reports? Okay. Okay. May I approach witness, Your Honor? Sure. Thank you. Can you now, is it possible that Miss Jones is Miss Cooley as well?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And you notated that in your report?
Yes, I did.
Thank you. Who did you talk to next?
After Miss Jones Cooley, I spoke with her brother. It's my understanding he was more Chris's age, so.
Yes, sir.
Look at his face. What?
Could you just tell me the people who you talked to at this scene?
Okay, I'm sorry. I spoke with Mr. Hunter. There was another gentleman.
Go ahead, sir.
There was another gentleman down the street, an older gentleman that I spoke to, Mr. Hoshaw, and I believe another individual, Don Perrone.
Do you recall what date that was?
I don't recall. If I can look at my notes, I can give you the exact date.
Would looking at your narrative help refresh your recollection?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he does that. I'm watching on social media as they're evacuating the Outer Banks. Ferries are running one direction full time, getting people off the,
Yes, sir.
off the outer islands.
Do you recall what day you went out in the neighborhood canvas?
That would have been March 14th, 2003.
And that's the same day you went to the scene as well?
That's correct.
Okay. After you finished in that area, what did you do next?
You mean after the neighborhood canvas and going over to?
Yes, sir.
Going over to the Action Glass.
Yes.
I think at that point, I started just speaking with the individuals that I know to be involved in the case. I know at one point I went to speak with Miss Norma Patton.
Who's Norma Patton?
Norma Patton is Melissa Wolfenbarger's mother.
And do you recall when you spoke with her? First.
The first time, it would have only been a couple of days after that March 14th incident. I can again look at my.
Could you refresh your recollection by using your narrative?
Really wish they'd stop whispering or maybe turn off their mic. It's cramping our audio listening.
It would have been on March 19th.
Okay. Did you talk to a person by the name of Mike Dixon?
Yes.
In this investigation?
Yes.
And do you recall when you spoke with him?
Not the exact date.
Well, can you look at your report and see if that refreshes your recollection?
At this point, I want his report so I can just have something to read to you during the breaks. I know. He's like, I retired for a reason. He dragged me back in here to testify. Is the Outer Banks a Netflix series? Yeah, just don't bother Googling anything about the Outer Banks or looking for places to stay or visit or explore or just relax. Outer Banks are actually terrible. We just put good pictures of them up. They're all AI pictures. The sandy beaches, the shelling, all that. It's all faked.
44.
Don't come here. We're crowded.
Yeah.
11. Try 11.
12. 11, 12. 12.
12. Try 12.
The Outer Banks are some of the best beaches, I believe,
Okay,
in the United
according
States.
to as I look at the notes that I wrote on April 15th of 2003, I started talking about Thomas Mike Dixon, where I was able to go out and speak with him.
Now, to continue investigating this case, what did you do next? What steps did you take?
At that point, we know who our victim is. We've identified it. We're now looking for any evidence that's related to that we believe can be useful in this crime. And I think at some point we started looking for evidence evidence from the medical examiner's office to take it to the GBI to be processed.
What kind of evidence did you find?
There was, when the body was initially discovered back in 1999, there was some hair and fiber evidence, I'd say fiber evidence, paint chips and things of that nature that were on the remains.
So did you, knowing what you knew at that point, what did you try to do with this in using that information?
We took that evidence and took it to the crime lab to see what, if anything, they can do. We did things as hair comparisons. We tried to determine what these paint chips were, where they may have came from.
So where did you look elsewhere?
We also looked at the home. Again, we're talking about the homicide, so we know that they lived at 824 Brookline Avenue. We also processed the crime scene as well. What we believe could be the possible crime scene.
Okay. And that would have been on Avon Avenue.
Avon Avenue would have been the crime scene where the remains were found in 1999, but I'm also talking about the house that Melissa and Chris were last known to live in as well.
So you try to get paint samples from there?
Yes.
Now, had Chris lived in that house recently?
No, sir.
Okay. And when did you go out? Where did you go out there to try to collect the paint samples?
Man, look at my notes again.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you the exact date. Would it be all right if I look at these notes? Because I highlighted things, same thing, but in my notebook, would it be okay?
Are you referring to your own personal file?
Yes.
Is it okay if he looks at his personal file to get the dates?
Of course. Do we have copies of what's in his own
No, this is just something that I made. I won't look at
But
it.
that's
No.
a copy of this, right?
Yes. Well, yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm adding that one. We're going to let you use your notes, personal notes that you made that the defense does not have copies of. Do you have copies of this? No, this is just something I made. Yeah, go ahead. Look at them.
Okay.
Got documents.
According to my notes, as I look at it, and on the supplement, that would have been in July of 2003 when I processed the crime scene. What I believe the home where Melissa and my husband lived at.
Processing the crime scene, what did that entail?
That is, I mean, a term that we use when we say processing the crime scene, you just start in and you just go through, you take overall pictures of how you found the scene and you just start looking. In this instance, it details, well, what do we know about the case? This body was cut up and dismembered. If it happened, where would it likely happen? And so that's a lot of times will be our focus, even though we'll take pictures and go through the entire crime scene. In this instance, we focused on two main areas: a bathroom that was in the home and in the basement.
And what were you looking for?
We were looking for, again, we knew that there were some debris found on Melissa's remains, so we went through the house to try to determine if we could figure out where that may have came from.
And were you able to figure out whether or not it came from the house?
We were not able to determine that, and yes, we weren't able to determine.
Are you familiar with a substance called luminol?
Yes.
What does that do?
Luminol is a chemical that's used in processing the crime scenes, where it's sprayed on certain things and it'll essentially light up, and that can give us the indication that this may be the presence of some type of matter. Something causes it to light up, so we'll take samples of that where it illuminated. We'll have it tested. Is it blood? Is it, what is this particular thing that caused this to luminesce as it did?
And you did that in 2003?
That is correct.
And was that successful?
No, that wasn't successful. That didn't, we didn't find anything with that. Luminol will react to certain things, and it's been known to react to things such as cleaning agents. It'll get it right, and so you have to take, again, you take that sample and try to determine what it is. It was nothing that we could use in this investigation.
Did you recover anything that you would need a DNA samples from the defendant?
Did I recover any?
Or did the department?
Yes, we were able to recover hair samples. Again, we pulled these. We got the remains, if that's been said, were found in bags, and we recovered these bags, and we went through the bags. We did all sorts of testing on those, and we were able to find some hair samples.
And were they compared?
Yes, we were.
Well, let me ask you this first. In order to compare hair samples, what do you need?
You need known hair samples from the individuals. In this case, we needed hair samples from Melissa to determine if they were her hair samples. And at this time, our suspect in that case was Christopher Wolfenbarger.
And how do you get those hair samples?
We already had Melissa's because this was found at the medical examiner's office, but I have to obtain a search warrant to get Chris's samples.
Did you do that?
Yes, I did.
And excuse me just for a moment.
Sure.
So many pauses.
Did he cooperate with providing samples?
I don't want to smile, but it's a definition of cooperate. I would say no, but I have to tell you why.
Okay.
Again, we needed to get some hair samples. We found hair samples on these remains, so we needed to get these tested. They needed Melissa's, and then we also needed those of our suspects. Well, I went and got a search warrant to get the hair samples from Christopher Wolfenbarger. It was assumed they're not going to give them up, but he didn't cooperate when I went to get them. I mean, he had no choice with respect to the search warrant. He had to give me, it was ordered that he give me these samples. So that's not cooperating.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Did he cooperate? No, but he gave me the
How many
samples.
times did you speak to the defendant about this case?
I spoke to Chris at least face-to-face on at least 3 different occasions where we met and discussed this case, or where I was serving a search warrant to get hair samples or DNA from him.
And I didn't ask, when you got the samples, did you turn those in to be analyzed?
Yes. And back up. These samples that we had from the medical examiner's office, we decided to do some more advanced testing. We sent those to the FBI crime lab in Quantico, and one of the stipulations were we needed other samples from Chris, and that's when we went and got his hair samples. But yes, they were all sent to the GBI crime. They were initially sent to GBI, but then we sent further samples to the FBI.
And were you able to make any matches based on those samples?
We were not able to make any matches.
Did you ever talk to the defendant about about Melissa's relationship with Carl Patton, her father?
Yes, I did.
And what did he tell you the relationship was like?
Chris suggested to me that the relationship was, it was good. Melissa was not afraid of her father. She had no reason to be afraid of her father. And if I can just back up a little bit and give my reasons for asking him that.
Sure.
I was familiar with Carl Patton, and one of the things was, well, would she have any reason to do this? Would Carl have done this thing to her? And his comment to me was she had no reason to be afraid of her father. Suggesting to me their relationship was good. Overall, family-wise, it wasn't the greatest, but their relationship was good, and yet would have had no reason to do anything to her.
Okay. When you talked to Carl Patton, was he emotional?
Yes.
I just have one more. Sure.
No match.
When did you speak to Carl Patton?
Oh, it would have been shortly after I visited Miss Patton. I spoke to Carl Patton.
And where did you speak to him?
I spoke to him at the Henry County Jail.
Well, he was in custody at the time?
That is correct.
Speak to Diane Patton or Diane Parrott in regards to this case.
Yes.
Do you remember when you talked to her?
It would have been in 2003, maybe. Again, all of these people were spoken to right in about the same time frame, within a couple of days of each other, I believe. I could look at my notes and give you the exact date.
Could you please?
So in these pauses, we should come up with something fun to do, like a game to play. I'm thinking about turning on the roulette wheel.
And so according to my notes, it would have been in March.
Objection, Your Honor. We've got confrontation, we've got hearsay, we don't have 807. So
Your Honor, I'm just asking these questions.
That's what I understood that he was asking is who did he speak to or did he speak to that person?
Yes. He's looking at his notes just to see, did he speak to her? Okay.
Just the date.
Well, I asked the date, so he's
Right.
looking to find the date.
Specific date because he gave you a general idea.
Yes.
Overruled.
Yes, thank you.
Go ahead.
Everyone's sick now.
When did you retire?
I retired in 2014.
And with this case, did you continue to work on this case until you retired?
Yes. As I said earlier in the beginning that while I had this case and got this case in 2003, I was assigned to the cold case unit of this particular office, but I brought this case over here with me, and I continued to work it until I retired.
Okay. And do you know who inherited the case after you were done?
It's my understanding, Detective Shepard.
Nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Samuel?
Detective Calhoun, my name is Don Samuel. I don't think we've ever met before.
We have, sir.
Yes, we have?
We have.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that later. So.
Not today.
I just want to do a quick chronology, okay? 1999, April, the skull is found in the road, correct?
That is correct, sir.
June of 99, there are other parts of the body found, different places, different bags in the woods.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Originally, according to your reports, the belief of either the medical examiner was that it was a male skull, correct?
Yes, that was, from what I understand, well, I know to be a truth, there was initial assumption that this head belonged to a male.
Right, just the expert just got it wrong, right, at the crime lab?
No.
Or the medical examiner's office?
I don't know what they used to determine that, but I know from the time they found the remains up until in the initial part of the investigation, when it was Dale Kelly's, they determined that it was a male and broadcast it in an attempt to identify this male.
Right, which obviously caused some of the delay, correct? Because for a couple of years, everybody thought it was a man's body that had been found.
Yes, it is possible. It could have caused, that's probably, they're looking for a male, not a female.
And then in 2003, after the arrest of Carl Patton, the inquiry turns to the dental records of Melissa Wolfenbarger, correct?
That is correct, sir.
Okay. So there's been a 4-year delay then between when the skull was found, the body parts were found, and the dental records eventually determined that it was Melissa Wolfenbarger's skull at any rate, correct?
Sir, that's correct.
All right. And from your report that Mrs. Patton, the mother, Norma Patton, didn't report her as being missing to any of the law enforcement agencies, Henry County, Fayette County, Fulton County, until a year after 1999, meaning in 2000.
Well, that's not how I understood it in speaking with her. If I can explain.
If I asked it, I would ask you to explain, of course.
It is my understanding that, yes, she had some initial reservations. She took time, but then at some point she became concerned because it was not normal for Melissa to speak with Melissa on the holidays. And this December, Thanksgiving of 1998, she spoke to her. Yeah. But now holidays are rolling around and something's not right. And she tried.
Let me ask you to remember my question. I don't mind you doing a narrative, but my question was she didn't report to law enforcement until the year 2000.
That is correct. But the way I'm understanding, you're saying that she chose not to, or she didn't care.
I didn't say either one of those things in my question. I just said from 1998 until early 2000, she didn't report to law enforcement.
He was unable to report it.
Okay.
She was unable?
You answered a lot of these questions to Mr. Wilson, so I'll go fairly quickly here. During your investigation, after 2003, because now we know who the remains belong to,
Yes,
correct?
sir.
You obtained paint chips because you thought that that kind of evidence would be important, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You used the luminol throughout the house in order to detect the presence of any blood in the house,
Yes.
even though it's a couple of years later at this point, correct?
Yes.
In fact, the luminol did designate one place that it turned out to be an animal's blood or something like that, a dog's blood, correct?
I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with what you're.
It wasn't human blood at any rate, correct?
No, the luminol reacted to something, but I don't know that they ever determined that it belonged to an animal. This, as I said, luminol will react to many things. I don't recall it saying that it reacted to blood at all.
Okay. There was something it reacted to,
yes,
but it ended up not being helpful to the investigation.
Correct, yes.
Okay. So you got paint chips, you got fibers, right?
Yes.
That looked like they were from a bath mat or something like that, correct? You got hair, which
yes.
you said, and we're going to come back to that in a second, that you got from Mr. Wolfenbarger, correct?
Yes.
And you sent that to the crime lab to compare with hair found in the black bags, correct?
Yes.
There was no match, correct?
There was no match.
You then even got a search warrant to get pubic hair from Mr. Wolfenbarger because there was pubic hair in one of the black bags, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that didn't match.
That is correct.
Okay. So the paint chips don't match, the luminol doesn't turn up anything, the fibers don't match, the pubic hair doesn't match, the hair coming from Mr. Wolfenbarger's head and the hair in the back, nothing matches, correct?
Are you speaking with respect to Mr. Wolfenbarger?
Yes.
Yes. And again, being careful to note that what's in the crime lab reports, the hair samples did not, while they were similar to Ms. Wolfenbarger's, they were dissimilar to your client's.
Right.
So they're probably hers. Yes. The crime lab, and to be clear, because I don't want to make this something, we're saying that nothing matches, but while we were doing the testing that we were doing, the hairs were dissimilar to Chris's, but they were similar to Melissa's Wolfenbarger's, probably her hair. They noted that, the pubic hair that they found, we didn't have a sample, so we had to go get a sample from Mr. Wolfenbarger.
Right. That didn't match anything.
Yes, but it noted, again, in the crime lab, it noted that while they were dissimilar, that circumstances change over time. So it's not, you're saying it's match, but
every one of these tests, you could explain away if you want. You can say there was, too many years had gone by, but none of it ever showed that he was responsible.
Yes, but I think it's important to note just what you said, sir. It's not just simply didn't match.
Okay.
There are circumstances.
Okay.
And
Did you ever get hair from anybody else?
No, sir.
Did you ever get pubic hairs from anybody else?
No, sir. Can I explain why?
No. Did you ever get DNA from anybody else?
I do think he can explain. I think ask him a question.
It was a simple question. Did you or didn't you? I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Hang on just a moment. If you'd like to inquire with your witness on redirect, you can do that, but he was asked a yes or no question, and I think it's fair for him to say he wants a yes or no answer. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, sir. Say that again.
You never collected hair from anybody else? You never collected pubic hair from anybody else? You never collected DNA from anybody else either, did you?
That is correct.
All right. Did you ever take cadaver dogs to the house?
We never took cadaver dogs to the house, and
Did anybody that you were working with take cadaver dogs to the house?
well, see, sir, it's not a yes or no answer the way
Okay.
you're asking the
All right.
questions,
Go
because
ahead.
you know where this is going.
Huh?
You know where this is going?
I have no idea where this is going. I just asked you, did you take
I'd like
cadaver?
to be able to explain my answer. I'll give you my answer and explain it. We, meaning the City of Atlanta Police Department, never took cadaver dogs to the crime scene to look for any remains or anything. But cadaver dogs were taken to those locations, but not by the police department or our agency.
Okay, we've already heard testimony that there were cadaver dogs where the bags were. I asked at the house.
That is what I'm talking about, sir. We never took any.
Okay.
But cadaver dogs were taken to the house.
And they found nothing, correct?
That's not, no, sir, they were not able to search.
Okay.
May I explain it?
Please.
At some point, as this whole investigation goes on, there was other agencies that were working with us, as I should say it, another agency took it upon themselves because they received some information about this particular murder and everything, and they came to the 824 Brookline Street with the intent to do cadaver dogs, to process the crime scene, and may I speak more specifically to the agency? I don't know if that's okay.
I have no idea where you're going, so I don't, what agency?
This was the Fayette County Sheriff's Office.
What county?
Fayette County Sheriff's Office with Major Bruce Jordan. Mm-hmm. They were the lead investigators in the Carl Patton case. Well, again, they worked in conjunction and speaking with Carl Patton, started doing things on their own volition. Came to the City of Atlanta with cadaver dogs with the intent to find evidence of Melissa's murder there.
By Carl.
You think that was responsive to my question?
Was it, sir? I mean, you wanted to know if we ever had cadaver dogs at the scene, and I told you, yes, we did. Not the City of Atlanta, but cadaver dogs were taken to the scene.
And found nothing, correct?
They found, no, I didn't say they didn't find anything. They were not allowed to search. You can't just, can't go to a crime scene, knock on a door. We have evidence that a crime occurred here and we're going to search your house and do this, that, and the other.
Who was living there then?
What? Who was living? There was a residence that was living there. It was no one related to the Wolfenbargers. There was a renter. Major Jordan and his team came there with cadaver dogs to search the house. As for permission, I don't know if this is okay, and I'm speaking to reference to the person that was there. They called the Atlanta police. There are people here wanting to search our house. We went out there, in particular, homicide went out there. Well, what are you trying to do? Well, we got information that this, and this has occurred. We're going to search the house. No, sir, we can't do that. We don't know this. We don't have any warrants. We don't know this. So, yes, cadaver dogs were at the scene, did not search the scene.
Okay.
Because they were not allowed to. They didn't have search warrants or anything.
Okay. So this was an argument to some extent between Atlanta and Fayette County law enforcement. No, this was not an argument. Had nothing to do with Mr. Wolfenbarger.
No, it was not. It's not an argument between Atlanta Police Department. There was an agency that came to Atlanta with the intent to do something, and this is a homicide investigation. You can't do it like this. It had nothing to do with an argument. You cannot do this.
Okay.
Oh, man. Fulton County.
Now, you interviewed a woman who identified herself to you as Dorothy Jones. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
and her name was also Dorothy Cooley. Is that right? Did you write in your notes that she told you her name was Dorothy Jones?
I don't know if, 20-some years, I'm not sure if I just thinking Jones type Cooley, or I'm not sure. I don't have my notes. Could have been Cooley Jones. I'm not familiar, sir.
You want to see your report?
I have it right here.
It says Dorothy. It says Dorothy Jones.
Yes, but then in the narrative it also says Dorothy Cooley. Okay. So again, what I'm expressing to you is I don't know. Could have been Cooley Jones. I don't know, but I corrected it in the narrative.
Okay. When you interviewed Mr. Wolfenbarger, you were in Gwinnett County at the time. He said that the last time he saw her was walking down Brookline Street, correct?
No, not Brookline. Not at the house location, but near the MARTA station.
Right.
The MARTA station runs right there on Murphy Avenue.
Okay. And this was sometime he told you in March or April of 1999. Correct? That's what he told you.
No, yes, when I interviewed him in Gwinnett County, he said, it's based on what I'm understanding his memory, it would have been about March or April of 1999. That is
Right,
correct.
which was at the time you interviewed him about 4 years earlier, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And he said that he picked her up, they talked for a while, they went to Taco Bell to eat?
Yes, sir.
And then he brought her to the MARTA station, correct? And she got on a train and left. That's what he told you happened. Okay. And so that's either sometime in March or sometime in April. The skull was found the last day of April, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then I want to ask you a little bit about your interview of Mr. Dixon. You remember that?
Yes.
Okay.
Waffle House.
Do you remember talking to him about whether Miss Wolfenbarger was pregnant?
Yes, sir, I do.
And do you remember him, this is Mr. Dixon, who was here
Yes, sir.
before you, saying he could have been the father?
Yes.
That's what he told you, right?
Yes, he said it was possible that he could have been the father, yes.
Right. And that he had talked to her about that.
I don't know if...
He had talked to Melissa about that.
Well, I'm assuming there was some type of conversation if they're talking pregnancies and who's the father, that
right.
There was a discussion about it.
Right. And in your report, what you wrote was, when questioned by me as to if he knew if she was pregnant, Mr. Dixon too indicates that it was possible and that it could be that he was the father.
That is correct.
Okay. And he also told you that she stayed with him several occasions at the Shallowford Lodge, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Did he tell you that they also were having their intimate relations on the rooftop of the Waffle House?
What?
You remember him telling you that? And
I don't remember him
Your Honor,
telling me that. I don't.
I object to that. That is argumentative.
I object as well, but on different
argumentative.
grounds.
I asked him a question, and it's
not relevant.
well, it's inconsistent with the testimony.
And it's hearsay.
What is, hang on.
Yeah,
Are
hang
you
on.
referring to a report in asking that question,
It's
Mr.
a
Samuel?
taped interview that the witness did with Mr. Dixon.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to overrule the objection. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Did he
Let's
tell
talk
you
about
about
the
that?
rooftop.
That they were going up on the roof of the Waffle House? They had wine up there.
I don't recall him getting into the specifics of the relationship, sir. I mean, it's possible I don't remember.
You did take the conversation, though, correct?
That's correct.
So if I played the tape for you, would it refresh your recollection? Oh, please don't. Please don't. Oh, no. Waffle House stock has dropped a lot this week alone. At least in my eyes. Don't sue us, Waffle House. So, you may have gone to Waffle House before, but have you seen the view from the roof? What's the line? How do you...
Not finding it, sorry.
Page 12. Page 12. It's on page 12. It's highlighted, and then the margins it says, they did what? With the question mark.
Yes.
Okay.
He's refreshing his recollection. Oh, man. Oh, man. Mr. Dixon, manager extraordinaire, Waffle House.
I think you did. I'm just looking at I just went back a page to see what, because on the previous pages where they started talking about their relationships.
Well, I want all the detail.
Well, yeah, when he was talking about their relationship, yes, sir.
So what do you say after our shift? We head up to the roof and watch traffic a bit, and then maybe we can cross the street, get some Chinese for dinner, and when we're done, we'll head out back to the hotel. The whole world revolves around Waffle House. Oh, man. Achievement unlocked. New fear unlocked.
Yes. Am I correct? Well, is it okay to read the answer?
To yourself.
Oh, okay.
That
To
document's
myself,
not in evidence,
okay,
though, so.
thank you. So during the 3-day period, yes, so now the first time was when we worked down at 500. Yeah, I came back down here.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Oh. I'll just read it quietly to myself into the microphone. Oh, my goodness.
All right, and then the question again.
My question was, Mr. Dixon,
The whole day went by.
It's going to happen sooner or later.
It deafens the court recorder.
Was having intimate relations.
He was having an intimate relationship with her.
With her,
yes,
including on the roof of the Waffle House.
Well, it says that they drank outside and then they went on the roof. I didn't delve into it any further, so.
All right.
His eyes get big. So we're going to do our first ever channel meetup at the Waffle House. No, just kidding. I'm not. No,
Thank
not
you.
a sponsor.
Mr. Wilson?
Thank you. What is your understanding was the reason for the initial delay in investigation from the discovery to when you got started?
It was just that they were having problems identifying who these remains belong to.
And do you know whether, the Christopher Wolfenbarger, there was a renter in the house, at that house at 824 Brookline?
That is correct.
Okay.
A renter?
Do you know whether or not there was any remodeling done to that house?
Yes. As we went into the house and you're looking around, and it's very obvious to anyone that things have been changed. These are older houses, and you knew that by looking at them, they had been recently updated, new appliances and fixtures and things of that nature, in particular the bathroom.
Okay.
I'm not even listening anymore. I'm sorry. He's holding really still. He's blinking. He's with us. JPC, thank you for the super chat. Roof with a view with sequel to Room with a View.
Do you have any understanding of what Norma tried to do after the reporting of Melissa being gone?
What she tried to do after didn't see her daughter anymore. She tried to make and the answer to my question is yes.
Hang on one second. I think he said the answer was yes.
Yes.
Do you know? I got a little distracted when I heard Mr. Samuel's objection. So far, I haven't heard any hearsay. His answer was yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Did you have an understanding of why, actually, Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Samuel?
Cut your losses.
Thank you, sir. You can
Thank
start.
you.
ma'am.
You are excused.
Thank you. That was the right thing to do about 30 minutes
And
ago.
ladies and gentlemen, while the witness is gathering his things, I'll let you know we're going to go ahead and adjourn for the day. I'm going to have you back here at 9:30, and I promise you that we're going to get started as quickly as humanly possible at 9:30. I will just remind you again, since you're obviously hearing evidence, that it would not be proper for you to discuss this case with anyone, and including amongst yourselves until it's time for you to deliberate. I'll also tell you that it would not be proper for you to do any independent research, to look anything up, to drive by anywhere, to Google anything.
Don't go to Waffle
And then
House.
finally, I'll just remind you that to the extent there could be media about this case, please don't watch the local news. Please just sort of try to stay away from media so that you don't accidentally run into something about this case. Because again, your obligation as a juror is to decide this case based on the evidence you hear in the courtroom and not anything else, okay? Thank you all very much for your patience and attention. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:30.
I would also recommend, Your Honor, that you tell them not to go to their local Waffle House and ask to see the view. Don't ask for the view. Not on the menu. Every place has their secret menu, right? Like you can go to Five Guys. Oh, what's a good one? Let's see. Man, the one's in California. The burger joint that does like animal style fries. Yeah, there's stuff that's not.
Thank
on
you
the
all. You
menu.
may be seated. Any matters that y'all need to take up with me before we adjourn?
In and out.
I don't believe so, Your Honor. Nothing from the defense.
Okay, Mr. Samuel, jury charges?
They will be in your hands in the morning.
If she's asking for jury charges, we're almost done.
So we will plan to resume tomorrow morning at 9:30. As I said, we're going to do everything in our power to comply with what I just told the jury, to start as close to 9:30 as we can.
Your Honor, are we able to get in early tomorrow? There's a recording that we may want to test with a Bluetooth because it's an older recording, and so we want to try to test the sound with it.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Get in maybe 8:45, 9 to test it, or 9. I think.
Yeah,
half an
8:45 might be pushing it, but I'm sure I can get you in here by 9.
hour. Okay, and with the Zoom up so that we can
Yes.
use it all. Thank you so much, Your
Yes. Okay, we are adjourned until tomorrow morning at 9:30.
And with that, we find our way out of the Fulton County court case that has brought us such treasures as I have signed a contract for an exclusive, but I just changed my mind. I'm not doing it. That was today. We also had such great things as, yes, I did in fact help my husband plan, carry out, and clean up 2 murders for which I served 1 year probation. That was today. We also had Mr. Dixon on the stand teaching us the ways of the Waffle House manager with onboarding the new employees, including the room with view, the hotel, and of course Chinese dinner, because he's not scum, right? He's an honorable guy. That was today. What else? Let's see. Today. Oh yeah, robbing banks. Not banks. Bank. One bank. I only robbed 1 bank. He said, not 2. Can I get an appeal on my comment deleted by Sam? No, you can't. If Samantha deleted your comment, it needed to be deleted. This is terrible. This is just wild. I've got Suno pulled up. I'm tempted to write a song, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure I don't want to. So we're gonna hold off. Maybe I'll write the song and see how it turns out, and I'll probably delete it. Oh yeah. Small detail: murder in the living room with Grandpa passed out drunk on the couch. Murder times 2, because he killed 2 people in the living room. And then dumped their bodies in sleeping bags in 2 different rivers 25 miles away. Thumbnail would be crazy. Oh, my goodness. I'll send the best counties in Georgia in a list later. Fulton is 160th, only 159 counties in Georgia. That's a lot of counties. Dr. Bullbutter, yeah, we got that bit. We got that bit. I was going to give AWOL a chance to see if he wanted to call in. I did not intend to respond and crack down on something he said. AWOL and I are good buds, and I love what he brings both in chat and on online. So we just made sure we were on the same page. You got to add the Waffle House ordering system. I don't even know how it works. I've been to Waffle House, I think, 2 times in my life. Once we all got sick. I think it was a coincidence. Well, I thought it was a coincidence. Now, not so much. The other time, I was by myself, and I somehow survived.
Call from
AWOL.
There you are. AWOL, I promised you a slot. How are you doing, my friend?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, no, I was just, I hope it probably came off wrong because text has no context.
Right. Yeah,
when you write words out. I just meant that we should be able to talk about a legal system while it's still being Pickles because this is what we watch.
Yeah.
It can go a little bit non-pickle, but you just have to keep yourself in order, meaning the conversation can go haywire if it goes to that extreme.
Right.
But we should be able to discuss our legal system with AKA Karen retrial, the investigators. We should be able to discuss that.
Yeah,
yes,
without going to
some
the politics
people may be
side.
crooked.
But in
You
some
think it does?
In some situations, I will say that the solution involves politics. Like, I'm not saying you should vote in somebody from the other party. I'm just saying maybe you should just vote someone else in. Choose whoever's the best for you, but vote someone else in some of these positions. And maybe we just need a change of scenery around the office when it comes to the district attorney and stuff like that. And maybe that would help clear things up. But I don't know.
Yeah, I guess the disconnect here is not more or less on that aspect of who we vote in or not.
Mm-hmm.
I think what I'm trying to say, I'm again trying to keep it regular, but it's more like I feel like we should be able to discuss crooked or corrupt judges because this is the system that we watch as a community together. So that was my only point, that just because I say that a judge is corrupt does not mean that I'm straying into the level of non-pickles. It's just like, no, this happens. Like, we've seen it with Judge Cannoni. We've seen it with Proctor.
We're not going to name
So
names
that's
about
my
Judge
point.
Cannoni or anyone else. So
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I'll say that. Allegedly. Okay, we'll say
Well,
that.
thank
Allegedly.
you.
But yeah, I'm just saying that we should be able to discuss certain issues that we can see that comes up in court.
Yeah.
That we should be able to discuss.
Yeah, I agree. It's fair game, and I appreciate what you bring to the channel, both in chat and on our calls. You're also a favorite caller for many people in the community, so please don't stop doing that. So,
No, I love everybody. It's all love.
Awesome. Appreciate it. I have to say, I love Ginger Snaps. She just gifted 10 memberships and hit
There
some
you
great
go, Ginger.
people. Yeah. So wonderful.
You know what? I'm going to follow up with that as well as soon as I hang up.
All right. Well, we'll see you later. No, just kidding.
All right.
I'm not going to rush you. Hey, Wall. It's good talking to you, my friend.
All right, later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
AWOL's a lot of fun. I appreciate his calls. Let's see. Do not malign the Norfolk Bar Person of the Year. Okay, yeah. All right, let's move on to something else. Here's what we do. We're starting tomorrow. She said 9:30 is the start time, which is going to be great. We are rapidly approaching the Donna Adelson trial. But what the judge said today, she went to turn to the defense and said, hey, jury instructions, where are they? Snap, snap, we need them. This is an indication that the prosecution is actually near the end of the case. Probably, I would say less than a week left. Could be just a day or two. So that's going to be awesome. Maybe we can finish this case in full before Donna Adelson starts, because it literally will be back to back to back crazy as far as the cases go. What a day in court. It's been phenomenal. It's been good. All right. Trial Obsessed, if you want the gifted membership, the best way is to turn your setting on to indicate you're willing to take one, and then do what you do. Just like the stream. I think that helps first and foremost. Obviously, you need to be a subscriber and then participate, in fun and interesting ways in chat like you're doing, and you're there. And of course, these help as well. Overly generous praise of the content creator is always good. So thank you. That's the link in case you need to check and see if your gift receptacle is enabled. Well, that came out wrong, especially after today's testimony. All right. That being said, I think we're going to wrap up. We will be here tomorrow for all of the goodness. My kids are chomping at the bit. I promised to take them to the park so they can ride their their old ripsticks with the new wheels, because now they're super fast. So we'll go and do that. No? Is it raining? No, you don't want to go? Okay. If I don't eat dinner, then I can't go, and I don't want to eat dinner. We'll work that one first through. All right. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again tomorrow morning, probably about 9 or 9:15 is what we're looking for a 9:30 start in court. Judges promised us a prompt beginning, and I think we're actually near the end of the prosecution, so it'll be fun. We'll see where that one goes. All right. I think that's everything. Anybody else didn't miss anything? I think we have to take Waffle House off the list for the birthday song tomorrow. Sure. Helmets and body cushions. Right. I'm excited to see what's for dinner. All right. You guys have a good night. We'll see you in the morning. Bye-bye.
Bigger than you. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than all of us.
Because he's the guy.
There's nothing in the order that restrains you from talking to cats.
Thank you.